Squad podcast. We're coming at you from a really old temple, hanging out with some frog lady whore maids to give you a galaxy-famous movie commentary on Star Wars: The Last Jedi. As always, I am your host, Brian Banner. We have our movies pause at the Lucasfilms logo. It's fully up on the screen. And let's go around the cruiser and meet the other bros. First off, our fearful leader and mayor himself, Jeff Hornacek. Now, Horns, if I'm not mistaken, you once had a weird telepathic connection with somebody, right? Can you tell the folks a little bit more about that?
I did. His name was Stephen Avery. Really nice guy. Met him in a chat room. Did you call me our fearful leader?
Yeah.
Okay.
First of all, wait, if you did that with Stephen Avery, did he do it or did he not do it?
I don't know.
Okay.
And to his left, fresh out of seeing Geiger in Galactic Prison, our very own legal counsel, Ronnie Cycli. Now, Cycli, what exactly is the punishment for soliciting yourself on a casino planet? I'm just asking because I wonder how long Geiger's not going to be with us.
The punishment is actually having to watch The Last Jedi. It's the worst punishment imaginable.
Somehow we lost that.
Yeah, we all lost.
All right. Again, everybody, we have our movies paused at the Lucasfilms logo is fully up on the screen. Sorry, I had a little too much Zima there. We're going to hit play in 3, 2, 1. Start the bad jokes.
You know, we need to put a picture on our Twitter showing that we're actually drinking Zima. So people know this isn't all talk.
Because no one would believe you.
Yeah, nobody would believe us.
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away was the last time anyone saw a fucking Zima commercial.
That's a travesty. As big of a travesty as this movie, in my opinion.
You know, I usually get excited when I see the crawl coming across. I'm not that excited right now.
So people at home who listen to this or are listening to this and they're like, all right, what are these guys? These guys just going to shit on the movie for 2.5 hours? Yeah. So I was disappointed when I first saw it, but this is like that first date where like you like the girl, but then she throws up on herself at the end of the night, but she's really hot. So you're like, I'm going to give her another chance. And that's what I'm doing tonight. So this is like sushi and we're about to go to karaoke. And then I just hope that it doesn't end with me crying, calling my mom.
I mean, your mom would probably appreciate that, though.
She would talk me through this. You know what we should do sometime is we'll go through and rank the opening scrolls.
War has to be the best.
Or the worst.
With the exclamation point.
Yeah, no, but it's got an exclamation. War!
Phantom Menace is pretty good, too.
Phantom Menace is good.
But isn't that the one that just talks about trade routes?
Yeah,
and you're like,
that's exactly what it is. That's called setting the stage, Horns. You heard of it?
I haven't.
That's the only thing I liked about Phantom Menace.
No, that's not true. Pod racing and the lightsaber scene and Duel
Now
of the Fates. Look, I can talk about a lot more than
It's
Phantom
unfair
Menace
to compare Phantom Menace to any other movie. It's such a great movie.
Fair enough.
Who would have ever thought we're shitting on The Last Jedi but praising Phantom Menace?
I don't know, but that sounded very sarcastic, so I'm not even too sure. The CGI in the world at this point is just so fucking good. I almost don't even...
Yeah, honestly, when you see this in theaters, you think you're in space.
Billie Lourd, Carrie Fisher's daughter.
So is she going to play... Never mind.
Yeah, I was going to say inappropriate joke coming.
We'll stop there.
So did anyone else feel like, because there's a lot of things you can take from A New Hope and Force Awakens. So obviously this movie kind of opens up similar to Empire, where, the First Order is closing in on a planet where the base is, and they're trying to escape. Obviously it's not the same impact, but I was hoping, again, at this point, I was like, okay, please don't be exactly the same. But then they didn't. No, they didn't. It's not exactly the same, but they went the wrong way about it here.
I do like, though, how they're like, all right, which we had a whole debate on The Force Awakens about they really shouldn't even be called the Resistance because they're not resisting anything. But they want you to feel like the First Order has like all the resources and they have them cornered. In this particular part, though, Domhnall Gleeson is playing Hux like a complete joke. Like, I don't know if he knows what movie he's in, if he thinks this is Peter Rabbit again. I did love starting with General Leia. That was pretty fucking cool.
So far, so good. Like that. I think that's how I felt. Until this
And then
moment.
General Hugs. Come on, please.
How hard is the switchboard at the First Order to get through?
Do you think like the writers of this film like fell asleep and Crank Yankers was on or something? Like, what made them decide like, hey, you know what would be funny? A Star Wars movie with a prank call right here.
I'd like to say that I appreciate the fact that they tried to go in a different direction, but I don't. When I think of Star Wars, I want Star Wars. I don't want honestly, what this reminds me of is the reboot of the Star Trek movies.
It's really risky to open a Star Wars movie with this kind of humor, I think.
I don't know if you guys felt the same way. There were a lot of people like, oh, you're being unfair to Last Jedi. Star Wars always had humor in it.
No, it didn't.
Well,
it had a Han Solo. There's a difference.
Okay, there was humor in Star Wars. I will give you that. But it was not slapstick humor. It was dry humor. It was smart humor. This is slapstick, in your face, ha ha, look at the joke we just told humor. And that's the difference. Like, I'm not shitting on this movie because it tried to be funny. I'm shitting on this movie because the jokes were just lazy.
Poe Dameron is a fucking awesome pilot.
Dude, he's so fucking cool. So my little cousin Banner, she bought me a Poe Dameron flight log book, and it's really entertaining. It goes across all of his missions that he's done over the years, and it's his flight log, and it's pretty good. I like it a lot.
God, I wish I could read. That sounds so awesome. It's a
solid. You read it. You can read like a flight log per poop. It's perfect. So you got a solid month's worth of poops out of the book.
I wish I knew how to read. That sounds incredible.
Yeah. Okay, this is something that I said. For once, I actually went back and I listened to our review before the commentary. I know, hell froze over. It's crazy. One thing I said, and I so far I still agree with it, is the bromance between BB-8 and Poe Dameron. I dig it.
Yeah. BB-8 is like the best wingman ever.
No one's hating on BB-8.
I will hate on him later.
Will you?
I will. I have a lot to say about it later, actually.
I'm kind of intrigued.
The red lighting here, we are about 2 vodka tonics away from this becoming a German nightclub.
I'm down for that. That actually would make this more enjoyable.
Yeah, I don't understand the problem.
Someone gets Wolfenstein going. Or Rammstein. Wolfenstein's the game. Fucking get that going too. Shit, it's a party.
You know what's funny? Wolfenstein probably is some German band.
They're at home listening like, why are they referencing us? Thanks for the shout out.
So Poe Dameron's all fucking, jokes, everything's laughing funny, and then now he's all serious and is like, no, I'm gonna fuck some shit up. Decide who you're gonna be, dude.
He's the bad boy, Banner. The tighter you try to squeeze, the more he's gonna get away.
He's the AJ of Backstreet Boys, man.
Did he just hang up on Princess Leia? Or I guess she's not a princess anymore. She queen?
She's a general.
General.
Although Hux made the joke or the reference of her as a princess, but he's living in the past, dude. BB-8 is working his ass off down here. Can we get a little help?
Hey, really quickly, who was the bad boy for NSYNC?
Chris, I believe.
Yeah,
Was it Chris or was it Joe? I was curious. Okay, thank you.
No, it was Chris.
I mean, Chris dyed his hair. Your parents definitely didn't want you turning out like Chris.
I mean, yeah. I wouldn't mind my kids ending up like any NSYNC other than Justin.
I was gonna say, Justin Timberlake. If my kids ended up like him, I would be okay with that.
He's great.
Even if they became half of what he is, I'd be okay with that.
But Backstreet Boys, all 5 of them, perfect.
So these bombers, we've never really seen anything like this before.
And they're
I like this.
They're cool. I do like the spaceships in this and in Force Awakens. The new spaceships that they bring in and kind of the variations of the old ones that we've seen.
So that's like the variant A-wing that they just showed.
We see a version of these bombers in Star Wars Rebels. Not exactly like this. You can tell that they were obviously an older version, but we do see a version of these in
Dude,
Rebels.
how many How many fat pilots with a 5 o'clock shadow die in the Star Wars universe?
It's seriously like, dude, if you're fat and have a 5 o'clock shadow,
Don't
join.
become a pilot.
And they're like breathing apparatus is never strapped in. They're like Deion Sanders, where he would have like his fucking helmet undone, like just so cocky. This is a tough gig to cover these things because they move like Greg Oden.
Wow, that's a name I have not heard in a very long time.
Again, Greg Oden's listening like, oh, they referenced me.
Greg Oden's actually hanging out with Wolfenstein.
Greg Oden's like, wow, you guys think I move that fast?
And then Wolfenstein's like, so do you want to dance? He's like, well, I'd probably injure myself. Oh,
yeah, this
shit.
is dangerous. Like,
Yeah.
all these... Like, it seemed like, hey, big target on my ship, shoot
Are
here,
they-
and the whole thing will blow up.
Are the TIE fighters doing this on purpose?
Just like suicide bombers?
Yeah. This looks like a poor man's... who's the chick that dated Aaron Rodgers? Olivia Munn,
Olivia
right?
Munn. Yo, she's dirty. If you guys haven't looked it up,
I've looked it up.
Look up the text and the things that she sent it when she was dating Chris Pine.
She went to the same college that Cycli went to.
She
She
did.
did.
She did. That's why, her and I have texted a few times. Got a little risky on her end. I was
That
like,
doesn't
calm
make...
down.
Yeah, you're like, I'm a married man.
Actually, the text that she sent to Chris Pine, she just copied and pasted, and that's the text that Cycli sent to her.
I think she sent it to Cycli first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she didn't like how I responded, so she just tried it on everyone in her phone book.
Yeah, and Chris Pine's like, I talk to Cycli pretty frequently. Is this just a copy-paste job? That's a pretty artistic shot right there from Rian Johnson.
I was just about to say, as far as how he shot a lot of the scenes, I'm not mad about that. I think the biggest problem, I think we would all agree, is the story.
Yep. I never complained about
The special
yeah,
effects, some of the scenes, and how it was shot, his artistic and creative view on certain aspects were great. But it's the storyline that isn't.
That's a hell of a kick there.
Why wouldn't you just kick it that hard to begin with?
Banner, it's not like she just was holding back, sometimes
I
just
think
takes
she was.
That was a great catch.
That was a great
Great.
stand
That's
catch.
got to be number one on SportsCenter.
This is a really fucking cool shot. This looks like if you're in like the cereal aisle and you accidentally bump the wrong box and it just knocks everything down.
It looks like an intense version of Connect 3 dropping out of the spaceship.
Connect 3?
Yeah. No, I'm not good enough to. I'm never been good enough to play Connect 4, so I always play Connect 3.
I mean, that's what we call a sacrifice. Right there.
It's a pretty great shot. I mean, again, the visuals here are fantastic. And you do feel like, okay, again, it takes me back to Empire. Okay, they barely survived this. They're kind of getting cornered. But obviously, as we go on into this movie, that's the entire movie. There's no better design of a ship than a Star Destroyer. I love
With the
that.
triangle kind of
Yeah.
feel. Yeah.
How does he still have a job?
Yeah, I don't know. How do you.
Look at his face. He knows he was putting up. He got a promotion. He lied on his resume, and he was like, "Oh shit, I actually got this. They do not need to be in this job."
Okay, next problem. Snoke is. I mean, he's pulling a Vader move here, and he's force choking him, force fucking him up
From eons away.
Yeah, a gajillion miles away. And yet later on, he doesn't know that somebody's spinning a fucking lightsaber into his stomach.
And he's so force powerful that 20 years ago when the Empire was existing, no one knew about him.
Yeah. This is a cool ship, too. I like this little
Pisses
cruiser
me
here.
off.
I don't know why the way John Boyega plays Finn just has kind of frustrated me.
Do you like the way he plays anyone?
I mean, I've only seen like half of Attack the Block, and I didn't watch Pacific Rim or The Circle, so I can't really cast judge. So you know what? No, I hate it. That's how the internet would react.
What do you think like language class is like when you're learning to speak droid?
Oh, I bet it's fun as shit.
I took a couple of years of some languages. I didn't learn everything. I mean, that's got to be intensive.
Yeah, but you didn't immerse yourself in the culture.
That's true. You got to go to the planet.
Yeah, you gotta go to the droid planet.
Man, Finn looks like me when I wake up on like a 3 a.m. on Saturday morning trying to just take a piss. In between being drunk and hungover.
Where am I?
Yeah, that weird fog where you're not drunk anymore, but you're not hungover yet. Like you're almost in a nice zen place.
All right, so this scene here too, obviously picking up exactly or like right after The Force Awakens ends. And again, Rian Johnson with a calculated risk, a very powerful moment we've been looking forward to seeing for 2 years, and he turns it into a joke. How did you guys feel about this?
I think this was like my second scoff of the movie. I was like, wow, what a scene right here.
And I mean, I guess we can blame ourselves a little bit because like we had our own expectations, but it just, I don't want to be laughing right now, you know? Like if we just finally saw Luke Skywalker.
Why is it
Here's the
supposed to
thing.
be funny?
I don't think it was supposed to be funny. I think it was designed to shock us in like,
When
oh my
people
gosh. And
Banner, this plays for laughs. I mean,
it just pisses me off.
but the look of the island, great. I mean, probably a bitch to set up DirecTV here. Because you know the guy's going to be digging around. Hey man, they don't have the hookups. Like I don't. It's fucking.
You know
satellite.
the time frame the cable companies always give you too, like,
Yeah.
oh, we'll be there between 8 and 12. That's gonna be I'll be there between 8 on Monday and 12 on Friday.
Luke's like, look, I gotta bang these frog maids. You think I can just sit around on my ass and just wait for you to show up?
Yeah, here's a question. So, I guess we know the Jedi, they can't have sex with other people, but can he have sex with the frog horse?
Why can't
No,
you
they
have
can't.
sex?
They can't love.
Stupid. You don't need sex
You
to
don't- yeah, you don't
love.
have
What
to
kind
have- you don't
of
have to-
Disney movie is this?
I
That's
can't
what I'm
stand
saying.
the porgs.
It is a Disney movie.
I can't stand the porgs.
I actually didn't mind the porgs.
I wish that whenever he hit that, it would have zapped one of the porgs in the stomach, turned on.
We see enough porg carnage in this movie.
This was a cool shot with the X-wing down sunk.
That
I
was
did
cool.
like that.
Little homage to Empire.
To Dagobah, yeah.
Luke's like, what am I gonna wear tomorrow? How bored would you get on this island? Oh yeah.
And when did Luke learn to speak with Chewie? Like, when did that happen? Because he wasn't really around Chewie that much in the original trilogy.
Yeah, he knew how to, he understood Chewie in Return.
Yeah, but when did he learn that? Because he was training to be a Jedi. Like, did he do that on his spare time? Seems
Yeah, it's an elective at Jedi training.
It does kind of suck that Han died. Like, how cool would it have been to see a Han Luke reunion scene?
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Maybe Han taught him all the dialects of the Wookiee.
Maybe.
Snoke's throne room is pretty baller. I'd love to see MTV Cribs. Hello, welcome to my crib.
This is where the magic happens.
This is
activities.
Of course, I have a Scarface poster. Great movie.
Every real supreme leader has a basketball court in his pool.
Don't mind my missing cheek.
I mean,
really
this-
no one of any importance at all. My
No.
story doesn't matter.
I'm not ready for that yet.
So is he like Hugh Hefner wearing a gold robe?
Basically.
Except Hugh Hefner's wouldn't get stabbed in the stomach by a lightsaber by a little Kylo Ren.
It just bugs me when I just see this. Like, it just really irks me. He clearly... This movie takes place 25 years
Yeah,
after Return of the
something like
Jedi. You cannot just be able to take this kind of control and not be on the
And
radar.
not be anyone of significance. And not even so much that, but like don't even tell us who he is.
Yeah, how do you
Guys,
get followers?
I loved the rumor or the fan theory or fan whatever that he was Mace Windu.
And I guess I'm not going to try and harp on this too much because people don't just want to hear me bitch for 2.5 hours. But
I do.
The argument against, like, oh, you're just mad because your theory was wrong. I tried to say this on the review. I'm not mad that my theory was wrong. I'm mad because everyone's theory was
Yeah, I
wrong.
don't need.
Because the story choice was to not make a story choice and literally laugh in our face, like, haha, you actually cared about the fate of that character? Why'd you think that was important? And we're like, because you told us it was.
Like,
I,
I hate
I
when people say,
digest.
"Oh, you don't need to know everyone's backstory." In the original trilogy, you didn't know the Emperor's backstory. I said the difference is back in the original trilogy, we didn't know anyone's backstory, so we were able to comprehend the idea that he took over somehow. We know the 20 years between these two movies.
In
Like,
The
how
Force
did
Awakens,
he get this kind of
We went
following?
back and we learned the backstory in the
Right,
prequels.
right. So
In the-
we
in the-
already, that's what drives me crazy. This isn't an original theory. Like, we don't know how the Emperor became the Emperor.
Yeah, we
so
do.
why can't Snoke be that way? No, it's not the same.
We do know how he became the Emperor. And you didn't even know the Emperor was the Emperor until Empire Strikes Back.
but it's all a moot point because that argument falls completely flat because in The Force Awakens, we are told narratively that it's important who Snoke is, how he got to power, how he manipulated Ben. Now, in The Last Jedi, we're mocked and basically laughed at by the creative forces in control, a la Rian Johnson, for ever thinking that that was important. They pulled
Exactly.
it's beyond a bait and switch. It's like it's humiliating and
It was
degrading.
lazy writing, in my opinion.
Do you
I
know-
think they needed someone to be powerful, but they didn't know how to answer the question that we're asking. Who was he during the Empire 20 years ago?
I think at worst it's pretentious. At best it's pretentious. At worst, it's just blatant middle finger to anyone who. It's not even the fans. Anyone who cared about the through
Guys,
line.
here's a legitimate question. Had Rian Johnson seen any of the other Star Wars films prior to making this movie?
Probably watch some of the Gungan stuff, like the important stuff.
Like he watched like the whole film in a minute little YouTube video things.
I do love those.
Chewie right there is like, "Yo, Luke, this is great. Do you have any pot?"
He's like, I need some death sticks.
I like to pretend that's not ammunition. Those are just packs of Marlboro Lights on his little.
Yo, I've been
Belt.
saying this for 7 movies now. Chewie's high as a fucking kite.
As he's still probably high from Empire, right?
Well,
Whatever he
take
took.
a ratio of how long they lived for like hundreds of years, right? So like if we got high right now or got drunk, then that only lasts so many hours compared to our life. For Chewie,
Guess it's
he's
true.
been probably on the same high through the last 45 years. To him,
I just
that's
noticed-
like, that's nothing.
I just noticed the tail of some badass water creature behind her.
Was it
Ooh,
high?
is this the? Yep, here we go. We're getting the green titty milk.
Oh yeah.
Best scene.
She wants it. Look at that.
Oh yeah, nice C cups.
Someone out there.
Now, why does he go with top right? Why
some
doesn't he go with
kid
one of the other tits?
is like, these are the first boobs I've ever seen.
Oh, there's some sick 9-year-old that's jerking
Look
off
at
to
this,
that right
and
now.
like the eye.
Now, guys,
contact.
we have to ask. Look, I love a good manatee rack, space manatee rack, just as much as the next guy. But how the fuck creatively does this get in the movie?
Who saw that? But like, yes, this needs.
They're
to make
painting
the
a
cut.
picture of the kind of life
No, I get it.
that Luke lives now.
They celebrated it though. They didn't.
A
paint
2 hour,
the picture.
31
They celebrated what he's doing.
The only thing would have been worse is if he just sucked it straight from the tit.
I actually kind of thought that's. What
I
was
kind
gonna
of wish he
happen.
did.
At that point, own it. If you're gonna do it,
Yeah, if
own
you're gonna
it.
do it, you might as well
Actually,
do
you know
it.
what, guys? We're being assholes. We don't. Maybe they're dating.
How big is that fish for one person?
Yeah, I want to know how long is that gonna feed Luke for?
Yeah, he doesn't have a freezer there.
Well, he's feeding Ray and Chewie. He's not gonna be some asshole.
Are you sure? Because he's acting
No,
kind of like an asshole right now.
I'm not sure, actually. Maybe he has a date with the space manatee tonight.
I mean, she did look like she could handle. a
She
lot
was
of
asking
fish.
for it.
With those 4 tits.
Yeah, it looks like, you know what the best part about dating a space manatee is? Double the amount of tits if you date a chick.
But you know what's not
I wouldn't know
annoying
what to
being
do with all
followed
them tits.
everywhere you go. Thanks. Can you stop following me, please?
Hey, let's just call Rachel up. She can let us know how that was like.
I came to a planet
Speaking
to
of
be
which-
by myself.
Is that restraining order still a thing for Rachel and Jeff? Is that still a thing?
Yeah,
That was a
Jeff will leave
joke.
her
That
alone.
was a joke, dude.
Yeah. Jeff is always somehow 5 feet away from the limit.
Yeah, it's weird.
He has a measuring stick with him the whole time. I'm like, what? Stop.
Where do you get a 300-foot measuring stick?
It's called Amazon. Heard of it?
Also, I feel like having 3 ponytails is a lot more work than just having one.
Oh, it's exhausting.
Like, just do the one.
Yeah.
How much time do you... I mean, maybe she was bored on the ship, I guess.
Well, at least you took some time to notice the work she put in. Someone pointed out online when the trailer first came out, and this, I guess I originally thought like, okay, that's kind of insignificant, but maybe it's not. This is the first time we've seen books in any of the Star Wars movies.
And writing, just in general, right?
Like handwriting?
Yeah.
Probably.
This is a cool little treehouse, though.
So this is kind of serving as like the travel case version of that like cave on Dagobah, right? Like this is the kind that you can get through TSA and just take with you anywhere you want to go.
So they're so futuristic in this series, yet they don't have like, you know, an iPad that holds all these books.
Well, futuristic cyclically, this is a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So
they're
check
very
yourself.
limited, yet they have travel by light speed.
It's a far, far away as well.
Their science is so far advanced and yet so primitive.
And again, see, this is the problem. Rian Johnson's basically throwing it in our face. He's like, "What's so special about you?" And she's like, "I'm from nowhere." And he goes, "No one's from nowhere." So basically, Rian Johnson's telling us, like, no, she's someone.
He's
not.
being so creepy here too.
I like, and I still stand by this. I like the way that Mark Hamill portrayed Luke.
Oh,
in
Mark's
this
not the
movie.
problem. Also, Mark hated the story.
He did hate the story, and it's so weird to me that promoting this movie, he's like, yeah, I think it's shit. Like, we should have, who would have, I never thought in my life I would say this. Mark Hamill was right. We should have listened to him. We should have lowered our expectations going into the movie.
Cycling and I talked after the first trailer and just on really, really limited footage, obviously. We were a little nervous about Mark Hamill's performance in this, but he is nowhere near any of the things that bothered me about this
he's
movie.
not even on the radar.
He's fine. He's 100% fine. What I do like about it is he literally, in the trailer, he goes, "This is not going to go the way you think," or something. He's actually 100% right.
Yeah,
this
he
doesn't
wasn't
go the
lying.
way I think.
This was a great line in the trailer.
It just seems so dramatic. It's time for the Jedi end. Calm down, dude. Like, that's not on Mark Hamill. That's on the writers. Like, what? You messed up? You lost a couple of students?
Let me ask you this, and I think we all agree that, like Oscar Isaac and Ray and Finn and all these people, they all don't do a good job. Is it because they're not doing a good job, or they're just doing all that they can with such bad writing?
Leia's like, I ordered a fucking spinach dip 25 minutes ago and it's still not out. Sorry, Banner. I think it is writing, but
Okay, can I make a comment? And again, this is if you've listened to the podcast before and you've listened to our Star Wars commentaries, it's not like you. It's pretty. I don't let it be hidden that I am very pro Empire and pro Sith. But here's my problem with the Jedi. Jedi cut and run. I've talked about this. We talked about this in episode 3. Mm-hmm. Yoda runs off to Dagobah. Obi-Wan runs off to Tatooine. And now look at Luke, who obviously tried setting up a Jedi temple. And, he had some bad students and kind of messed up. And he ran off and hid and said Jedi should die. The Jedi are kind of cowards.
He set up like an inner city Jedi temple. Like you knew it was going to be troubled kids that needed some guidance.
Why did he think
Coach
it was going to be
Carter
easy?
should have showed up.
And I just don't understand. Like, my thing is, like, Jedi don't fight till the end. They will literally run and tuck tail and hide.
Yo, this chick is uglier than the Admiral Akbar lookalike.
Guys,
I
here's
just
a
don't
question.
get it. Fuck the Jedi, man.
If we've got our Star Wars 2-man scramble, I want Poe Dameron to be my partner. Not because we're gonna win, but I know we're gonna drink a lot of beer.
Yeah, 100%. Poe Dameron's also probably most likely to be like, all right, we got a 4 on that hole. Like, you 3-putted.
Yeah. It's fine. But then again, I'd also probably take Chewie because I know we'd only complete about 3 holes and just be hanging out in the woods smoking pot.
You wouldn't even finish.
We just show up and like, what'd you shoot? And you're like, 6? Like, just out of 18 holes? Yeah.
I got 18. Hole in one.
Yeah, I mean, I got an 18.
Wait, my subtitles say Akbar, so this is an Akbar descendant?
I thought this was Admiral
I thought
Akbar.
that was Admiral Akbar, because I thought Akbar dies here in a minute.
And that's what pissed me off.
Oh,
I
this
thought
one?
Admiral Akbar should have been Admiral Purple Hair. Like, it would have
Yeah,
been a lot
fuck
more...
Lord Darth.
Oh, that would have been sick.
A lot more impactful when Admiral Purple Hair kills herself if that had been Admiral Akbar or Princess
Plus,
Leia.
We definitely would have known if there was a trap.
I'm just saying, like, make it a character we care about.
Although, honest question, if we had an entire movie of Admiral Akbar going, could you take that seriously?
Hell yes, I could. Better than this. Better than this. And you don't have to give him that many. You don't have to give him that many lines.
That sounds like he's having like balls jingled in his face.
I'm pretty sure that's what they do in his species.
Where's the catfish guy that was Lando's co-pilot in Jedi?
Yeah, I don't know where he's at. The guy that looks like a chocolate chip
The
cookie.
guy who's...
Yeah, everything was so fucking funny. It's like, dude, no one made a
another
joke.
question. Bring Lando back.
Oh, we are.
How did BB-8 survive that? I'm glad he did. Damn.
BB-8's just a badass.
Yeah, no shit. We got a ragtag crew on the flight bridge here. Akbar's-
See, like, at this point with all the slapstick humor so far, if they had thrown us at Admiral Akbar going as a trap, I would have been like, all right.
It would have been
Everything
a
else-
sigh of relief. Actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
compared to everything else they're throwing at us,
Right, they can't act like they're above it at this
after a
point.
crank call and after tit milk, green.
But I think
tit milk.
that's sort of where my issue with Rian Johnson is. He's doing this movie, and it's not only that he like doesn't necessarily appreciate some of the fan service. I think he's like openly mocking us.
Is he still getting his own trilogy?
Oh yeah,
Are you fucking kidding me?
at least as of what is it, May 22nd, 2018, when we're recording this.
So I respect his conflict, like you and I talked.
Oh,
Hey, respect.
psych,
They
I
killed
forgot.
Princess Leia. Everybody, let's give him a round of applause for. I respect him for killing her. Like, it's hard to do, but they killed her. Like, isn't that just? I love
Honestly,
it when they do
whenever
it
it happened, I was like, "Oh shit!" This movie literally. My thinking was like, "Okay, I'm buying. I'm picking up what they're putting down. I'm buying
it's
this."
serious. That's. I mean, it's sad to see her
Yeah,
go.
it's sad, but again, it needed to happen. And
But I understand why they killed her. And it shows more conflict with Kylo. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, she's...
well, and I buy that Kylo is moving more towards the dark side. He killed his dad. Now he killed his mom. He's killing off the last kind of strings to love and strings to things that are going to keep him.
And here's a nice image of the floating dead body.
Yeah.
Isn't that like a nice moment for her?
Oh, look,
this
it's
is
like-
for the audience to
This
say
is like
goodbye.
Jack like falling down into the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, this is our goodbye.
Check out our Titanic commentary.
I still can't believe they did this.
What are you talking about, dude? She's dead. I don't understand.
And again, I
Did
could
she
have.
just move?
I think she did.
No, you're seeing things.
Yeah, no.
Okay, I think I sneezed. Wait, no, that time.
That's just
She
rigor
found.
mortis.
She just found out there was a sale at Loft, and she's like, "What?"
Look, like
30
the thing about the Force is like, okay, you can control things, but like your body still needs. She's a humanoid. Like she still needs like oxygen and shit.
How do you? I just don't get like how you put this in the writing room and no one's like, "Hey, that's fucking ridiculous."
Look at this. What is
We've
this?
never been. We've shown her to be somewhat force sensitive, but now she's like she's Jesus Christ.
That's what I really am upset about. They've underlined the importance of the Force. They showed training for Anakin. They showed training for Luke, and now Rey, and all these people can do all of these things without
and
anything.
both with Anakin and Luke, they said you're too old for training.
Right.
Well, I can't start you. And then now Leia at 80,000 years old is all of a sudden, oh no, I have no training. but I
And
can
Rey
do it."
is literally the greatest Jedi of all time with zero training.
Yeah.
The way they make the powers they've already given her.
I could never sleep. I would go down with Chewie, man. He's got a chill setup.
Dude, he'd be a great
Oh,
cuddler.
eat one of
Are you
those
kidding me?
porgs? Yeah, dude, that looks delicious.
I'd be
Dude,
all over that.
rotisserie porg sounds so good.
I love how he took the head off, but he didn't take the legs off. Like
The
that's
porgs
just-
are sick
You
that
gotta
they
have
want to
something to
watch
hold on
this. The porgs are like, is that Trevor? One porg's like, he owes me money. You might as well eat him. He's already
I
dead.
can't stand the porgs. Like, I get why they did it. It was creative to be able to cover up the birds on the planet, but like, you don't need to include them and literally make them a character.
Oh, it's Disney. They're gonna find.
Why-
I know
Why can't-
it's money and toys, and they definitely Batman and Robin it up, but still.
But why couldn't there just be birds on the planet?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Like, no one would complain about that.
So the
You
guy's
can't sell
solution is,
birds.
oh god, the fucking dice. We're gonna do
okay,
this.
so did we confirm? Is this in any other movie?
I've never noticed it. And
I've
if it is,
never
they-
seen it.
if it
Never.
is, they certainly don't go out of their way to reference it or show it to us.
It's gonna be in that fucking movie that's coming out this week. We all know it.
Of course it is, dude.
It's gonna be super important, and it's fucking Woody Harrelson is gonna give what's his face the dice, and it's gonna be super significant because like, oh, it's my dad figure, give it to me.
First of all, the subtitles just had him saying R2 spelled ARTOO.
Mm-hmm.
Yet
Yeah.
in the parentheses it says R2/D2.
It's actually
So-
hyphen. It's not a slash.
Sorry, I apologize. I am
Wow.
embarrassed. Egg on my
It's a
face.
disrespect.
What is that? Just whoever types the subtitles, just write R2.
This right here. This is a baller move by R2.
This was really cool, dude. All right, so this I'll give Ryan credit where credit's due. This is fucking awesome.
So
He's like,
this,
"God."
I've said this before. Luke goes through all three of the original movies in this one movie. Right now, he's being a whiny bitch, and he just wants to go to Tachi Station to pick up some power converters.
Let him, Uncle Ben.
Now he's starting to
Hello,
turn
and excuse me?
into a little bit of Empire Luke, where he's like, okay, I'm going to give this a shot. I'm going to be overconfident about things.
It's like story time, bitches. I want a like circle of him, Ray, Chewie, and one of the porgs, and they're just passing around the bong.
Chewie's like, look, this one time I was on this one planet, and we were so fucked up, I might
He's
put
like-
it in a dude. I don't know.
He's like, you mean right now? Oh, Bird Lady's talking. Everyone listen. This is the movie Lady Bird was based on this chick.
See, Admiral Akbar, like just like that. Like he doesn't get anything. Just kill him like that.
This chick is like super stressed out. She's worked a double. Her husband's probably cheating on her.
Her son's addicted to meth.
Admiral Purple Hair is on something, that's
Fucking
for sure.
Lord Dern. God damn it. Go back to Jurassic Park.
No, 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 no. It's probably how she got involved in this, actually. I mean,
Admiral
she
Holt-
just
So
like
bad.
she just did not even try. I felt like.
She was so excited to be in a Star Wars movie, she didn't think about what it meant to be in a Star Wars movie.
Also, who do you think the person in the writers room like? And then we give her purple hair, and everyone's like,
Yes,
oh,
go on,
shit.
Chris.
Yeah. Oh, there he is. Yeah. Like, who's like?
Chocolate chip cookie face.
I just don't understand. Like, that's what we do. We give her purple hair, and people will just be so.
That is them going, okay, we need an Oscar out of this movie. Let's try makeup and costume design. If we give her purple hair, we're gonna get more points with the Academy.
And here's one of the biggest problems I have overall. All she has to tell him, and this continues the next like 30 minutes. All she has to tell him,
2 hours.
yeah. All she has to say is like, "Hey, look, there's a plan. I'm not going to fill you in on it because it's a need no basis, but there is a plan." What would have been the problem with her if she had said that?
No, you have to alienate people. That's what you had. That's the only way to lead cycling, okay?
I mean, I apologize. You're right. Like,
She's like, first off, I have purple hair, so fuck you, dad. I'm not your dad. Okay, now that you got that right, There is a plan, but I can't tell you that.
Yeah, like that's all she needs to say. Literally the words, "There is a plan." No, and you know what we would have been saying?
wear something
Casino
like this
scene.
around
No
my
casino
neck.
scene.
I don't even start on the casino scene. In fact, I'm actually gonna piss before the casino scene.
I'm just saying this is the
Because-
reason there's a casino scene, because she doesn't just say there's a fucking plan.
I don't even want to talk about the scene. Why go to the fucking casino scene planet?
All right.
Well,
I don't even
In
understand.
our defense,
No.
dude, let's say we're on a mission and someone says, "Hey, you guys should go to Vegas," and we're like, "There's not really a reason, but let's go." You and I would probably go
Yeah.
to Vegas.
Geiger would roll over in his grave right now if he knew that you were against going to Vegas.
I'm not against going to Vegas.
They had the option to go to a casino planet.
Yeah, man.
Denver taking
Okay,
it.
probably a
but
sports book
here's
there.
the difference. If we go to Casino Planet, we're not letting the fucking horses out. We're betting on the horses.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Well, they can't race unless we let them out.
And we're probably doing cocaine off a hooker's ass.
It's a slow Tuesday.
Well, that's the mission.
So what's Finn trying to do here? Is he trying to be a pussy and run, or is he actually trying to help? I can't
He's
really
trying to
remember.
find Rey. Because he literally doesn't give a shit about the Resistance. I think he's in love with Rey. And that's another thing I don't understand. Is do they have like a brother-sister thing? Or like a he
In the
wants
Star
her and
Wars
she
universe,
doesn't want her?
brother sister means you're gonna get it on. I mean,
Well, he's been friend zoned hard, and right now he could totally take advantage of this chick.
I don't even want to talk about their relationship and them becoming a relationship.
Makes no sense, but okay.
It's
it's Disney.
stupid is what it is.
So he's not allowed to leave because they need the escape pods. Is that basically what's happening?
Well, remember that's part of the plan, but no one told anyone it's part of the plan because part of the plan is to not tell anyone there's a plan. So that's a great plan.
I guess here's what I would ask in her defense. And this isn't even really in her defense. In Holdo's, I guess, trying to put myself in her shoes. Let's just say in that meeting she just had, student council meeting. Who's keeping the minutes? Devin, is it you? When she's talking to everyone, kind of like introducing herself, like, "Hey, Leia's on the DL. I'm getting called up." If she would have said the plan right then, what? And I'm honestly asking, what is the downside?
I think maybe the concern that they have a mole on the ship.
Okay, that's
Because,
fair.
That's probably it. But again, if you just tell Poe there's a plan, and let's just say Poe is the mole, and he goes, like, what's the concern? That he goes and tells them there's a plan? Yeah, because you're if their first order, they're like, shit, they actually have a plan. We're screwed. Of course they think there's a plan.
I guess the nice thing about her plan, and by the way, Rose's move here, this is what happens when your chick catches you texting another girl. You're like, we're not even dating, and I'm not even a psycho.
Yeah, she's a little crazy.
Like, even if the First Order knew the plan, how could they stop it? Like, spoiler alert, but it's basically driving your Star Cruiser through their ship. Like, they would have to just lay off you, right?
Yeah, they would have to, right?
So, I mean, that in and of itself seems like a win.
So, like, unfortunately, logic doesn't apply here.
And that's fine. Like, I love Star Wars. I'm not one of those guys like, excuse me, this is not realistic. These are things that I think about. Like,
But there's the thing about it, it's not like logic. Like, I can say the same thing about Harry Potter or whatever. The thing is, whatever universe you create, you have to have boundaries. Like, it's not to
like
say,
a
okay,
WNBA locker room. We can't just walk in there.
yeah, we accept that some things there are rules. Every universe has to have rules. Now, I'm not saying that, okay, sometimes you can mutter an incantation and things happen or whatever. I'm not against fantasy. I love fantasy films. It's just like, you have to have some logic based in it. Yeah, whatever you're having.
Is 3PO pissing in the background? It looked like he was just holding his dick. Oh, don't mind me. I've been drinking an awful lot of water.
3PO needs to get laid, bro. It was lovely. They always have such in-depth plans here. Like, we have every blueprint to these ships. I can't wait for the Star Wars story where they get the blueprints for those ships.
For the blueprints?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird that Holdo doesn't trust him at all, yet she'll just, like, let him near Leia's bed. I didn't realize Poe and Leia had this kind of relationship. Like I mean, did they maybe sleep together at one point? Is she a mother figure to him? Both?
I mean, she was a sexy professor. Like, she's older, but you got into it.
I don't think she's a mother figure because there's actually a pretty good comic line. It's like 4 arcs, and it's how it's about Poe's mom and dad and how they fought in. His mom was a fighter pilot in the space battle in Return, and his dad was one of the ground troopers that was with Leia and Han on Endor. And they end up taking one of the seeds to a force tree and protect it and shit.
So we know more about him than we know about Snoke.
We do.
Also, how do they just like get to like Facebook Live with her just like that? And who's recording this?
I was gonna say what? She's not like it's not a selfie.
Who is she talking to? Because the camera moves with her.
I do like me some Maz Kanata. This feels like she's really shoehorned in to throw this exposition in.
I think she was a character that people really liked in Force Awakens, and so they're like, that may have been the only thing they told Rian Johnson that you have to put in. Is somehow Maz has to be in on this. I don't understand is whenever Rian Johnson was like, all right, you're going to be director, and J.J. Abrams was like, I love this story. I'm jealous that I don't get to direct it. What is wrong with him? This isn't the same script that he read, right?
I would guess that's just either lip service or maybe there were some changes made.
There's always going to be changes made. There's no way. Like, nothing ever comes out the same way it came in, being pre-production.
Yeah.
Kylo's in here getting, like, his acrylic nails put on. The droid's like, so tell me, honey, what you dealing with these days? He's like, oh, God, a lot of shit. My boss has been riding my ass.
There's nothing better than the SNL skit about him doing Undercover Boss.
Undercover Boss, yeah, it's pretty great.
Seriously, if you are listening and you've never seen it, just go to YouTube right now and do Kylo Ren Undercover Boss.
I don't get this.
Chill. I want a blaster. That looks fucking awesome.
Weapon.
How does that not kill Leia when she gets shot with it?
Oh, this is going to freak out the frog maids.
They're whores. Frog whore maids.
All these
That's a lot of
serving
jobs.
Luke.
I did like this stuff, though, like the telepathic connection they had.
It's cool, but I don't get it. And maybe that says more about me than it does the story.
I think maybe it was just a red herring by Johnson. Like, are they related somehow that they have this? No, because it doesn't matter because Rey is no one. That's the point.
The only time we ever saw anything like this was with Vader and Luke, but they were at least in a proximity to each other.
Luke and Leia in Empire when he's hanging from the little radio tower.
But again, they're
still close to each other.
Right, that's what I was saying. It's like just a red herring.
So, like, Rey, again, goes back to my point. Like, it's stupid how powerful she is. She has no training, yet she can do everything.
Maybe she has a Bluetooth earpiece in that we can't see, and they're just talking that way. So these maids are also, like, carpenters?
They're whatever you need.
How much is Luke paying these people?
This all feels like Fraggle Rock to me now.
I would watch Fraggle Rock over this.
Are they in the same universe?
Oh, I know the Muppets are, because Yoda's a Muppet, Frank Oz.
It's true.
Does Yoda ever show up in the Muppets, though?
Frank Oz does.
Yeah, but that's an actor.
Yeah, but the original Yoda is a puppet made by the Muppet people, so I'm just going to assume they're in the same universe. And Fraggle Rock and Muppets
fucking
are the
leg
same.
Day, going through all these steps.
Who does
Seriously,
leg day, bro?
Ray's gonna have a booty by the time we're done with this.
Yeah, I don't think any British chick has a booty.
Did you guys feel like she wasn't as in good of shape for this movie as she was for Force Awakens?
No.
I don't think I noticed that.
I noticed. I feel like her cheeks were a little.
Wow.
She didn't look as tight ever.
Really? Well, more for me then.
Why aren't you saying that about any of the guy characters, bro?
Oh, we'll get there. When Kylo Ren takes his fucking shirt off, and is just done showering.
God, he's so swole the Ren.
If you compliment him in that scene, Geiger will burn the podcast to the ground.
That's a long time coming. The Jedi need to die, just like the Broforce Squad need to die.
Yeah, this is Broforce Squad, the last bro.
What if that's actually like his shitter and he's like, oh, this, I probably should have cleaned this. I really wasn't expecting gas. I'm kind of in exile. That's sort of the fucking point.
Luke should have taken a Mr. Miyagi approach and like just made Rey do all his chores for him.
I want the Jimmy John's guy to show up. Hey man, this place was a bitch to find, so I wouldn't mind a fucking tip, you know? Luke here, and it makes sense because it's who trained him. He's obviously going for like a little bit of a Yoda type mentor in the beginning, where you're kind of like the drunken master. Yoda was like probably on, he would have been like the rolling face master.
Yeah. But again, we see him as he's a little bit more like Empire Luke, where he's starting to figure stuff out, but he's still super immature.
I'm about to get really pissed off here in a second.
So what? Sorry, I was like peripherally paying attention. I don't really remember. What was the event or sort of realization that caused him to go from "I'm never training another Jedi again" to "Okay, I'll train you"?
He walked on. He saw. Honestly, I think it was he saw the dice on the.
No, the R2D2 did the.
Oh, R2D2
Okay,
did it.
that makes sense with Leia. All right.
Yeah, but here's what's about to piss me off, and I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but she's about to get real dark here. And he goes, "I cannot train you," and then the next time we see them together, he's training.
Yeah.
Like, wait, but you just said you're not. I don't. Whatever. You must be really bored.
Yeah, that's almost like on the editor. It's like, oh shit, I forgot that last scene. She actually contradicted that
How
perfectly.
did I forget the last line? Literally said, "I won't train you."
But I like Vanity. It's cool.
So is he scared because she's not afraid of the darkness like he was?
I think it's just
darkness in her, like
it's just drawn to her and she's drawn to it, you know? It's like if you date a girl who like the second you walk into like a restaurant, she's like, "Let's do shots." You're like, "Oh, I'd like to eat first."
Nah. Here's the thing about eating and doing shots. If you eat, you need like an hour or hour and a half before you start doing shots. You can't eat and immediately go into shots. That says you're going to throw up immediately.
Oh yeah, definitely.
here we go. You went straight to the dark, guys.
So does that mean she likes Blackhawk?
I mean, who doesn't? I'm
Join the
giving my
club.
big predict. I think I've said this before on the podcast. I think in the next episode, Rey goes bad, Kylo Ren goes good. That's my crazy prediction.
I'm down with that.
I
She
just
have
don't see
lipstick
them
on
doing
now?
that.
They got to be doing something with the whole.
Well, Kylo Ren's
connection
definitely
and her draw
going
and
good, dude.
his conflict.
He's been such a bitch the whole time. You know he's coming.
I'm not saying I'm going to be right. That's why I'm saying it is a crazy prediction. It's just the way they're going about this. I'm like, they're making both of them so conflicted. They can't both end up in the middle. And how lame is it going to be if they both end up good? I'm not about that.
No, I think one of them is going to end up bad.
By the way, did we see that he's not training her anymore? Officially, it's done.
It's official.
It's officially done, guys. He's not training her anymore.
It's over. All right. Well,
A good movie. I had enjoyed. This is the Broforce podcast.
So how did Finn? People listening at home are like, Jeff, are you even fucking watching the movie? How did Finn sneak off in the pod with Rose? Did Poe create some distraction or like block them being able to track it?
He made a deal with Carrie Fisher's daughter, and so she saw the blip of them shoot off.
Got it. Billy Lord, love it.
Like, see, all that stuff with the port, like, that doesn't have to do with the damn birds on the planet. Disney is just capitalizing it there. Putting it at every nook and cranny in the Millennium Falcon.
But at the same time, like, respect. For
It's like,
taking a situation, something that clearly wasn't in the movie at all, and throwing it in because it was cheaper to do it this way.
Here we go again. Why? One of these days, Skype is going to be like this, and this is going to make recording these podcasts so much easier.
Well, if they were trying to Skype, it would have made them update.
What? My force is updating. I'm sorry.
My force is updating right now.
There's a new update. I turned this on yesterday and updated. Yeah, well, we changed the software a lot. Sorry, we're not sorry. I think the other thing too, you're trying to figure out like, is this a weird like sister relationship? Is this on the periphery of sexual? Is it both? Because we've definitely seen that.
Like, man, like ask for some pics while you're at it.
No kidding.
Seriously, what are you wearing? Why does that matter? I was just trying to make conversation.
Would you guys be upset if they ended up having some sort of romantic involvement in?
No, they've been building up to it, so no.
Kylo and Rey?
Yeah.
They've been building up to that?
There's
I feel like
some
there's been
sexual
tension.
I've never gotten that vibe. They've been hinting. I mean, at the end of the last one, it feels like her and Finn might have something.
Like they could hate fuck.
Well, that's totally different than
that's
anything
different than having a
romantic.
relationship.
No, you said relationship. I thought you just said having sex
No,
once.
I said a romantic
Oh,
involvement.
sorry. I meant like I would
there's-
not be surprised if they slept together and then both went off on different ends.
Ooh,
yeah,
what about this?
there'll
They
definitely
slept
be a
together.
scene.
The fucking casino.
All right,
planet.
I'm gonna
The
take a
fucking
break here.
Casino planet.
That guy with the mustache, guarantee you that guy owns like 2 yachts. And he constantly goes, "Her."
What are you saying, man?
So when this movie came out last December, Mrs. Banner was actually pregnant with baby Banner, and she fell asleep about 5 minutes ago. So she missed the entire casino.
I remember
planet.
that because I was in the theater with you.
And
So she
afterwards,
probably loved
we were
the
complaining
movie
about
then.
how bad it was, and we're like, the Casino Planet, what the fuck is that? And she goes, I didn't think it was that bad. Wait, what Casino Planet?
All right, guys.
What
we
is
got some-
that?
What the fuck is
What is
this?
that? That was another Muppet.
We got some cameos coming up. Justin Theroux, Jennifer Aniston's, I guess now ex-husband. We're about to see. Also wrote Iron Man 2.
I'm already like cringing.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
No, the worst
First of all, they're
part-
not even dressed appropriately for this place.
The worst part is coming
They
up
look
here
like
in just a
fucking
minute.
slobs.
Like if you're going to go on a covert mission in a casino, dress appropriately.
Dress for the job you want, not the job you have, you know?
This
This
part, you
guy's
gotta be fucking
great.
kidding me.
Oh,
They use BB-8 as a goddamn slot machine.
Why?
What's wrong with that? Actually, Brian, I remember this really upset you.
It really upsets
It's
me.
so stupid. It's so slapstick.
Seriously, this is a 45-second, all right, maybe it was like a
So
30-second
unnecessary.
bit. Why?
So unnecessary. It's slapstick. It's not smart humor.
I don't see the difference. This place does have a feel of somewhere where I would lose like a fucking $1,000.
Okay, guys, okay, how much better would this have been if it had been pod racing? I'm not joking.
Oh,
That would have been.
100%.
Oh my god!
I
what
may
is
not
that?
have been actually upset with it if it was
If this
pod
had been
racing.
pod racing right here, I would have been. It would have redeemed it.
The
a
problem
lot.
is they couldn't put he couldn't put his political view into the movie if it was pod racing.
What's the political view of saving horses?
Yeah, that racing horses and stuff like that is.
I thought it had to do with more the slaves. There.
I mean, if he's putting a view in here, like it's not touched on.
I thought it had to do with more of that, the slaves, than the horses.
I don't know. Honestly,
Plus
I don't know that he even was. I'm merely just stating that. Maybe
I'm just
we're
saying, like,
reading too much into it.
It could have sold me the same thing with the slaves, just like on Tatooine and pod
I
racing.
got the 3-horse. I got the 3-horse. He closes late,
Wow, that's ballsy
Yeah,
of you, man.
that's-
How much money are you
yeah.
putting on that?
What are those?
guys.
Are you putting
What
Republic
kind of-
credits
what
on
kind
there?
of odds are you getting?
Because they're not going
I
to
don't
take
like-
Republic credits.
Oh, if I wave my hand in the air, they will.
Or you think you're some kind of Jedi?
This little kid doesn't matter, except he does.
I'm just saying, like, when I saw that crowd, my immediate thought went to pod racing. Because it looks like the stadium on Tatooine.
It
just
does.
as, you know.
I would agree.
Yeah,
It
but
would've
that's
been
the thing,
cool.
man. I feel like they always want to just keep introducing new stuff in these movies, and I'm like, there's old stuff we want to see more of, dude. I really, as I do everything in my life, was pretty premature with that Justin Theroux cameo. He hasn't shown up yet.
Also, like, that seems extreme for, like, oh, you parked in a handicap spot.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, with the little rose thing. He's fucking a conehead too. That's nice.
So is Rey just training herself?
Yeah, she is. And like,
She has Rosetta Stone how to be a Jedi. It's like a little bit.
this
helpful.
is like the Star Wars kid YouTube video, like the very first viral video on the internet. Like, this is what he did in the garage, and everyone made fun of him for. This is all she's doing. She's just standing on a cliff.
I don't know what the first viral video you saw. The first one I saw was a dude shitting his pants while he was weightlifting.
I don't know why you watched that.
Well, it was a viral video.
I'm talking about like one of the most famous first videos ever.
That was the second one I watched.
I'm not talking about the order people watch it in. I'm not asking you for your
that's
opinion
what
on
you just
things.
said is the first viral video. I disagree with the fact that it's the first viral video.
It came out before you watched your first viral video. Is all I'm saying.
I think you said the first one I watched.
Probably.
What's happening on your
the
screen
way
right now? I
that
have
she
to pause
holds
my.
her lightsaber here is a little bit different. It's a little mix of a Ahsoka Tano from Clone Wars and Rebels, as well as it's kind of a good mix of different ways of fighting with a lightsaber.
Hey guys,
If
remember
you-
the last? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you just turn the movie on right here and only watched 30 seconds, you'd say this is about a creepy child molester who watches some girl play with a sword.
Can I just say, look, can we all? I don't know if you guys remember. I don't remember the last time they saw each other. Do you remember what was said between them?
I have a very short term. Honestly, no, I don't, because they have the stupid fucking
Because
casino planet.
I think it was something about him not training her anymore.
It's funny. It's like, I'm not gonna train you because you're evil. No, but I'm really good with a weapon. Well, fuck. All right, I'll train you. But wouldn't that actually be like more of a deterrent?
Yeah, like he continued. You literally
Like
just said you're not going to train her like 12 hours ago, dude.
He's like, I don't remember that. I was probably high when I said that.
Well, Chewie gave me some good shit. I do not remember what I was saying.
At least they referenced Darth Vader. That's pretty cool. I wish he had like a Vader poster up in his cave.
He literally said for many years there was balance. It has been 20 something years. It wasn't that long.
Plus, shit doesn't seem like it was that good.
Like, clearly there was no like balance right after. There was trouble.
Yo, Luke is just like super depressed. Like he just needs to get on some antidepressants. Sounds like I don't know what that noise is.
Oh, here we
And
go.
it's a super important part of
Here
the
we go.
movie.
We're learning.
We're learning that
Luke overreacted.
We're learning Luke's side of the story with him and Kylo Ren.
How much did Luke overreact?
Like a 6 out of 10.
I don't know, man. It feels like a 9 out of 10 here. He
I
went
do
to
like-
go kill him
I do like
because he was
how
a little dark.
this scene was in Force Awakens. Whenever she picks up the lightsaber and she sees part of this.
The Jedi just cannot handle failure. Like, it's okay, dude, you fell. Get back up. It's okay. Like, I still don't understand how Yoda ran. I don't get that. They would rather run and hide than actually fight.
I'm trying to think of a good like sports reference that they're like they're kind of like the Cubs. Like they get well, not anymore because they've won the World
Yeah, they
Series.
won-
So it doesn't
before
even
they won the
fucking
World
count. Yeah,
Series.
before they won the World Series, like they're cursed because they did this, and then they get so close, and then some fan does something stupid, and they get
And so they just
close,
give up.
So then they just give up and retool the next year.
It's like, no, you guys were on track. You overreacted there. I've been following them around this whole time. I don't know why they're in such a rush. Why are they in such a rush? You know you have them cornered. Why are you even wasting weapons? You got them. Just keep walking. Just keep following them. Guys, if you're still listening, I'm all alone. It's legal counsel, Bonnie Cycli. All by myself. With Admiral Purple Hair. They're stuck on a casino planet for absolutely no reason, Poe. That's where they are. And of course, they always get locked up with someone who happens to know of the plan. Oh, hello, Jeff.
Hey, that was a great piss I just took.
I've been all by myself. I was singing to the pod.
Oh, well, I probably killed the views.
I literally go, if you're listening, I'm all by myself. All by myself.
So I read that Joaquin Phoenix was offered this role but turned it down.
You know, I would have been down for that. But here's my thing again, like, and this happens in every movie, and I was just about to start talking about it. There's always someone else in the cell.
Yeah, there really always is.
Like,
and they're always of significance. You know?
Like
they're never...
I'm in charge, put them, separate them. Why are you putting everyone in the same cell?
Yeah, it seems like we have plenty of space down here.
And
his choice with the stutter, I mean, so Benicio del Toro. How can I make this more like fucking art house pretentious?
No,
and he's a
great job. Again, like we talked about the whole time.
He's a great fucking actor. I'm just saying, like, I guarantee you he added that.
And it goes back to the writing. Like, my problem isn't with him. My problem isn't with any of the actors. My problem, again, with the prequels. I don't blame Natalie Portman and Ewan McGregor and all of them for any of the problems. The writing is the issue here. Like, I just don't understand. Hey, we're going to... Look how many cells there are. And they happen to get in the cell with the guy who can get out. And who only waited to get out till they came.
Hey, we shouldn't leave. It's, like, illegal and stuff.
Like, why did he need to wait for them?
BB-8's like, I was about to...
Also, someone put that much money in him?
Yeah, that is a lot. Those aren't ones either.
Oh no, they weren't playing the penny slots with him. That was like $5, $10 coins.
One thing I will kind of give Star Wars credit for. So obviously the originals were made in the late 70s and early 80s. So like the costume design and everything looks kind of dated. Even though this is 25, 30-ish years in the future, like these guys' costumes look like something you would see in A New Hope.
Yeah, 100%. They do a good job when it comes to that. I mean, even the ships, I actually noticed that earlier. I mean, they have some continuity with the Rebel ships compared to like the Empire/First Order ships.
Yeah.
Like, you know what you're looking at when you're in a specific scene.
So are these things really just, Banner earlier said he thought it was some sort of political message. I guess these things are just more like symbolic than anything else.
For me, it went back to the whole Tatooine thing. Like, I didn't think it was an animal rights thing. I thought it was more of a, like, they're making these slaves be a part of this gambling culture. Yeah. Which is exactly what Anakin was doing.
And if you're at home, comment or tweet at us what you think this means, because maybe I just don't fucking get it, but... I guess aside from the little tag at the end that Rian Johnson wanted to add, which if that's the reasoning, that could be important enough. But I didn't really understand this whole portion of the Canto Bright, and I feel like we could have honestly cut out 20 minutes of the movie.
But obviously, and that's the thing, is it going to be a worse movie because you make it a little shorter?
I mean, if the stuff in it doesn't help, I feel like, yeah, maybe. Like, they're here to get a code breaker, and now it's become...
The timeline just doesn't work here. I mean, the idea of they're traveling, light speed, like, how many light years away are they right now?
Seven.
Well, and they take this time, and and conveniently get back in time that the First Order still hasn't been able to destroy them. I mean, I'll buy the story. Just give me a better story. Like,
I could see Rian Johnson storyboarding this. Like, I got a fucking kick-ass action set piece.
There's this guy again. There's the leprechaun again.
That's racist. Look, that chick had 11 tits. That was pretty awesome. He's hitting it big, though, dude.
I mean, I wonder if that chick with the 11 tits was related to that chick that Luke was hooking up with.
They're definitely distant relatives. I'm so fucking mad I can't even talk.
You left for most of the casino scene.
Okay, I actually like the way this scene looks in the alley. This is giving me like a London 2050 vibe.
No, and that I'm fine with that. I'm fine
Nothing
with,
is
again,
ever wrong with the
nothing is wrong
visuals.
with the visuals, the way it's shot. But why the fuck do we even have to have this in here?
This gives me like a
And again,
Venice
I
feel.
even like the creativity of all the different aliens and these little goat elf things.
Dude, that guy on the balcony just got cock blocked so bad. He was about to close with that
He was
chick, you know.
definitely, he's a closer. He'll still get it in because
I don't
they're in
If he's a
shell
true
shock.
closer,
If he's a true closer.
Well, now he'll-
that's not going to deter him.
And now he can pull like the, wow, that was a near-death experience. I think we should just go back up to our hotel room, have a glass of whatever local liquor we have, and really just be thankful that we're still alive.
This makes me think of a scene out of like, oh my god, Hunger Games or something. Like more than anything, like the way they're like the.
It's like a mix of Hunger Games and the raptor scene in Lost.
Yeah, the way
World.
they're searching for him.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Again, I would much rather have it be pod racing right now.
And Benicio del Toro, you gotta be fucking kidding me! Like what are they doing with him?
They just need an excuse to use him. And again,
Then fucking use him.
well, that's what I'm saying. And you weren't in here for it. I was like, none of it's wrong with how he acts. It's the story they gave him.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the little tick that he had.
I don't know. I thought he improved it and he did a good job of just making his own character. I'm not gonna
Finn-
criticize someone for like creating their own backstory
Yeah.
or something.
All right.
How quickly does Finn just like lose sight of the mission? She's like, well, we're trapped. He's like, yeah, it was fucking worth it though, right? Because we released these horses. She's like, well, yeah, but like the entire resistance is gonna die. He's like, yeah, but that horse gets to run in a field. So what's
Yeah, whose side are you really on?
who? Yeah, really, Rose. Let's put our perspectives back in order here.
Yo, BB-8's got numbers. Like, if you need to off somebody, I'm going to BB-8. Like, hey, you know somebody? Like, BB-8, he's got the hookup, for sure.
When's
right?
the BB-8 A Star Wars Story come out? Because I'll be in line for that one, the opening night.
I don't know.
I'm
See-
more excited about that than a fucking Lando story.
No, I'd be more about R2D2 because R2D2 is the original OG.
That's true. They should have them work together. It can be like a buddy cop movie where it's like the young buck.
Like a
is-
Lethal Weapon kind of
Oh
situation?
my god, like R2D2 is like 2 days from retirement.
He's like, beep, boop, beep,
Like
which
a
means I'm
training
too old
day?
for this shit. Exactly.
watch
Like,
that.
Like a training
Exactly
day with
like
BB-8 and
training
R2-D2?
yeah. And they're like at a bar and R2 just like drinks straight whiskey. He's like having a.
Not
Yeah.
I'm too old for this shit. Beep boop beep boop beep boop.
And then like in a tight jam, he's like, R2, use your fucking hover rockets. He's like, I haven't done that since episode 2.
Yeah, there's one thing the prequels did wrong. It was they just gave every power to R2
Yeah,
possible.
because it was convenient.
And then
Again,
it was
dude.
like awkwardly never mentioned later in the
See, okay, this is another piece of foreshadowing. So they show Luke and Leia clearly having the telepathic relationship. To me, I thought they were trying to make that like analogous to Rey and
Oh.
Kylo
Oh,
to sort of
hold
show
on.
us where it's going. But then Rian Johnson laughs in my fucking face as I say that.
Guys, I'm sorry. I mean, this is hot. I'm
Wow,
not
do
gay,
you
but I'm
even
about
lift,
to be.
bro? I think those pants could be a little higher.
Ben Swolo right here.
Hi-oh.
That's what I'm saying. Like, at least get in shape, bro.
I don't know, man. He looks fit. I don't know what you're
He's
looking at.
not, I mean...
Dude, I didn't realize that scar went all the way down to his fucking nipple.
What are you doing looking at his nipples?
They're shoving them in my face. Was that you motorboating Kylo Ren?
I want Kylo Ren to be like, my shirt's off. Why isn't your shirt off?
Yeah, seriously. I would feel more comfortable if your shirt was off. He's like really is one of those like really bad like sex room guys from To Catch a Predator.
Yeah.
Why are you here?
ASL. What?
Seriously, Luke freaks the fuck out, man.
He kind of wigged out on him.
From a certain point of view.
The Jedi are evil.
Luke's logic in this movie is very, very, very flawed.
Like all Jedi.
Yeah, the Jedi, man, the more of a sample size we get on them, they're kind of pieces of shit.
They moved Kylo Ren's scar for this, right?
I believe so. Dude, I got to give credit where credit's due. Adam Driver's pretty good in this.
I think he's fantastic. And after watching it again, the more I watch it, I like Kylo Ren's storyline, connecting it to Force Awakens and continue. He's the only one that seems like it has a continual arc between the two movies.
Exactly.
The other people, it's a whole new fucking arc. It's a whole different...
He has a struggle. He has depth. Like, there's something about his... Yeah, he's a whiny bitch, that's for sure. But at least there's something going on with him.
Almost understand and get why he's a whiny bitch.
You know, Rian Johnson was like, but what if we told the audience that it doesn't matter? He's like, what? One guy, please. Okay, fine. One guy can have a story. She's like, I heard there's a kegger down here. Worth it.
So like an all-night rave.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're not on the list. Sorry.
Are you 21? I'm just kidding. Get on in here. Who do you know at this party?
It's cool. You want a beer?
No one.
I didn't put a roofie in this one.
Don't worry about those bubbles on the top.
You did.
No, totally.
No, I said I didn't. God, be cool. I thought you were cool.
So like you're really drunk in the bathroom and you're like, fuck, is that me? Oh shit. There's so many mirrors.
She's like, I don't know. I don't want to sleep with him. Maybe I'll just make out with him.
Actually, this is me when I'm high because like I get everything delayed reaction.
Yeah.
I'm like, I lift my hand. It's like 2 seconds later I see it. I'm like, oh shit.
Whoa.
She got into Chewie's stash right here.
She definitely did. This, and not just his normal stash. This is like his special occasion stash.
How much did this try to be like the scene in Empire where Luke goes into the cave and like
a lot?
It's supposed to be, because that's Luke going into the dark place on Dagobah.
Yeah.
But the ironic thing is that was like the big reveal for Luke. Like he came to terms with his dad being Vader. With Rey, it's the exact opposite. Because after this, we don't find out yet, but like Rian Johnson knows where this is going.
Well, and the thing is, she doesn't come to terms with the fact that she doesn't have parents. She's just more mad about it.
I guess it's like a kind of a unique thing to do with the character, but it just feels like you're laughing at everyone that ever got invested in the story of the character.
Why do we have to have 80 of her?
I'll take 80 Daisy Ridleys.
Nope. 81.
It's like the scene in Matrix Wait, what's the second one? Revelation.
Reloaded.
Reloaded. Yeah, where there's like 80 Agent Smiths.
Yeah, except I didn't want to bang Agent Smith.
Well,
see, that's where you and I
make
disagree.
Make out. That was it.
Like, it's just like, what did she just learn? I don't know.
Yeah, is she like her own parents?
The thing is, you can be deep, but the thing is when you're like, I'm going to make something so weird that no one's going to get it and I don't even get it and it's going to be deep. Like, that doesn't make it deep. You just made something up.
Geiger said it best on the review.
You sound like an idiot.
If I have to go home and Google something, you didn't do a good job.
They only had 2.5 hours to explain this story, dude.
This was a cool fight scene. Very well choreographed, I'll say that.
I love this communication ship between them. Give me some more of that.
God, but I'd be all over this shit, man. Like,
looks like
out of town remote. I'd be like using this. It'd be awesome.
Different zip code, bro.
I was meeting with her while she's out of town.
That's what I'm saying. You can't tell me the planets don't have different zip codes. How would intergalactic mail get anywhere?
Yeah, I don't know what planet delivered this to. You didn't put a zip code.
Kylo's like, look, Rey, I like you, so I'm going to just give you a heads up. The things that I have done in that hemp blanket, you might want to take it off.
Here's my thing, too. Like, if you're Kylo Ren in this situation, are you really putting your hand in her hand, or are you putting something else?
It's a dick in the box. Dick in a box, baby.
Then you're like, hey, that's on you. You grabbed it.
So are they brother and sister?
See, they literally just hinted at that, but they're not.
Are we sure?
Why would Han and Leia not said shit around her?
Well, that's why it's so weird, because Han like gives her like the double take in the Force Awakens.
Well,
But that's why for Rian Johnson to tell us that she's nobody of consequence, and that's his point. And so I'm just like, dude, what are we doing here?
well, and then also the way that after Han dies, Leia and her are like all of a sudden buddy and together.
Did you create Kylo Ren?
This is a fantastic fight scene.
This is great. Although if there's anything we've learned from Luke the past hour, if he gets mad at you, just give it like a day. He'll be cool.
Yeah, if he tells you something, wait an hour, he's going to tell you something else.
I love this in the fucking rain.
That's one thing we haven't got, right? We've never had a lightsaber fight in the rain.
Yeah, we did. Well, Obi-Wan and
Oh, yeah, kind of.
Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, kind of. But it... with
You mean Master
Jango
Sifo Dyas, according to what the people on the planet thought?
Yeah,
But
Jango Fett.
that's why I'm here.
That's why I'm here. This is one of my favorites. I sent that to my wife. Had a 5 a.m. flight on Sunday, and she's like, she sent me a text from the airport. She said, "Thanks for taking me to the airport." And I literally responded with the meme. That's why I'm here.
So this is Luke's side of the story. Are we supposed to? It's like the same thing Kylo Ren said.
Yeah, Kylo Ren's like Luke overreacted.
Did you try to kill him? No. Here's what happened.
Okay.
I walked in his room. I turned on my lightsaber. Okay, yeah, I tried to kill him.
And how can you blame Kylo here? If I walked in and I saw my uncle with a lightsaber about to kill me, I'd probably pop out my lightsaber and defend myself. That sounded really
it sounds bad being that lightsabers aren't real.
My uncle
And your uncle and like
Yeah, if that happened,
lightsabers
your
are
first reaction would be, what the fuck?
synonym for dicks and
my uncle. It's a good thing uncles don't have that connotation, right? Like, no uncle ever harms anyone.
I love how Luke tells his side of the story, and it's no better.
Yeah, that doesn't help any situation.
Shouldn't yours be a little more biased, like to?
All we learned again is that Jedi are bitches and they run away when things get difficult. Seriously, there's no passion on the Jedi side.
Yeah. So the history of the Jedi, they basically tried to overthrow a government that was in place, albeit, yeah. I mean, the guy was a little crazy, but
yeah,
then every time
that one
things
might have been a
Wait,
little
which
justified.
guy? Which guy?
Chancellor Palpatine.
I thought he was fine.
You're part of the problem.
He didn't do anything bad.
Okay.
What did he do bad? Please tell me.
Well,
he can't. Yeah.
I mean, he basically was playing both sides with the Trade Federation.
Yeah, but what did he do that was actually evil?
Well, I mean, not evil, illegal.
Any false law is unjust. You can break any law. That doesn't make sense.
did you guys like how Yoda was in this? Because I loved it.
I love
Yeah,
it.
you have to do it. This is actually one of the most. This is the scene. My friend Tyler and I looked at each other and said, "This is the first scene in the movie we didn't hate."
The only thing that I'm a little upset about is that Yoda looks too CGI'd to me. I would have liked it to be more puppety.
They should have brought the original puppet back.
That's my only, and I love this scene. I love what it means and everything. I love everything about it. But if I had to say something bad, I wish it was more puppety.
Disney owns Muppets and they own Star Wars. Like, that would have been perfect.
It would have.
I would have loved to maybe like if Obi-Wan could have, like if Ewan McGregor would have shown up, because he was also.
Ewan McGregor would have been game to play ball
Because
too.
of Obi-Wan.
What? No. Because of you, because you're killing people.
I do like how they gave Yoda the crazy side of him again. Like the.
I've missed this Yoda.
Okay, so the books never make it out, right?
No, they do.
But how?
She stole them. There's a scene earlier where she stole them.
Oh.
They referenced it.
What exploded inside of that? Like, did he have dynamite in there?
That's actually where he cooked his meth.
The Jedi are so advanced, yet somehow still have like gunpowder.
See, he looks puppety to me, Banner.
He does there. When he has the blue aura around him, like maybe that's what I don't like. Is that?
But he's a Force ghost. He has to.
Yeah, they didn't make him look as Force ghosty. Like it's different. It's different.
And what are the rules on when you can appear as a Force ghost? Like, why are they hanging out all the time?
It's like the Hall of Fame. I think you have to wait 8 years.
Like, what is Qui-Gon up to right now? Why can't
That's
he
why
make an
Obi-Wan.
appearance?
He's making a 7th Taken movie.
That's why Obi-Wan just talked to Luke like over voicemail right after he died. Luke, I'm sorry I missed you.
If you would return my call.
Anyway, hope everything's going well. I love how they, at the very end, they always say their name again. By the way, this is Obi-Wan.
If it's my parents, they will like, hello, Ephraim, this is your mother. Here's my phone number. No, Mom, I know.
Yeah, my mom's like, hey, Jeff, it's Mom. Like, yeah, I saved your number. Figured we'd be talking occasionally.
See,
Yo, this is
they
weird
talk
advice
about
from
failure all the time, yet they never use it.
You have to fail.
They're
in
good
order
at
to be
it.
successful. Eventually, they're going to be successful with as much as they failed. You would think, right?
You would think.
He's like, apprentices are like batting order. 1 for 4 is good percentage. I don't think they're people. Like, they're human lives. Any pot, have you?
I just love how he acts like failure is no big deal, but yet they like.
Yeah, you know who says that? People who fucking fail all the time.
Yeah, people who
Which
give
Yoda
up.
was one of them.
Like Jared's like, you know, a little bit of pedophilia is totally cool. It's like, what?
Also, I want that chair.
No shit, Captain Kirk chair.
Mm-hmm.
That's totally what it is. That's a Star Trek chair.
What's he drinking here? A little like Irish coffee?
Gotta stay awake.
Dude, is
I
he
feel like
Robert
he's drinking
Ory?
whiskey
Yeah,
neat.
no, he's definitely drinking like moonshine or something.
I didn't realize he was on 2 of the Lakers championship teams. Look at those fucking rings.
Well, Phil Jackson actually just gave him to us as a gift because he has so many.
Yeah.
Rose is like, are you Devin George? I am, actually, yes. Former Lakers small forward. Finn's like, wow, you look way different.
Was it like Robert Ory had like so many rings from so many different teams?
Oh, yeah. Rockets,
Like 8.
Spurs, Lakers. And he's always like the 7th best player.
He
on-
never was a starter.
Does it say, did he ever play?
He always had the winning 3 in every like game 3 or 4. It made no sense.
And he always
hit
looked,
some big
and he always looked a little bit like Will Smith. What's going on here? Is he like blackmailing them for their service?
No,
For
I
his
think
service?
he's just stealing more shit. It's just
But they're
Benicio
looking
del
at-
Toro being Benicio del Toro.
None of this is scripted. Excuse me.
Shut the fuck up.
Sorry.
Dude.
I'm allergic to bullshit that is this movie.
Can we watch it? Like, Jesus.
God, so many blueprints. What do you think? Like the how much like megabytes can these droids hold?
Well, they got the expanded one because Finn's been gaming a lot.
Yeah, and I think they're backed up to the cloud.
Yeah, they got the cloud.
Yeah.
Let's
They
just
just
hope
have-
the cloud doesn't get
Yeah,
hacked.
they just have to. They pay an extra $10 a month for extra cloud space.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure the First Order doesn't have any hacking abilities.
Benicio del Toro is pretty fucking hammered right now. How did this guy just start floating towards him?
How is
Hux
Hux
is
not
like-
dead yet?
How does he have a job with benefits?
I don't know why I just thought of this because they've shown Hux a lot, but like those people that complain about a movie like, in all 8 Star Wars, we've never seen one person go to the bathroom. Dude, none of them pee?
Dude.
And you're like, do you
No,
want to
this
waste
happened in
fucking
Harry
it happens
Potter.
with Harry
It
Potter.
pissed me off.
It's like, do you want to waste time in a movie watching Poe take a shit?
Why would like, if people Harry Potter? He didn't ever go to the bathroom once or take
Why
a
do
shower.
you wanna
Why
watch
would-
a kid
why would
watch
she?
him take a
Why would
shit?
she write that? Why?
Like, if you needed to be spoon-fed that information, it's not just assumptive, you probably have some issues.
You need to be like there when they eat every meal and take every bowel movement and it fucking makes
I
sense.
mean, I like to be.
Guys, Holdo has a choker on. You know what that means.
Oh god. Again,
cycling. I'm with you. Just fucking tell people what's going
seriously,
on.
like she sees conflict in this guy. He's freaking out. He's throwing shit. Just say there's a plan.
She's baiting him.
And she still refuses to say, "Hey, look, I understand you're angry. There's a plan, though."
I guess I don't, and that was probably more clever than anything they had tangibly put in the movie. Not to shit on the writers there, because maybe I missed it, but if she suspects him as being a mole, that kind of would have been like a cool, because maybe they could even have the audience guessing, like, dude, is he?
Yeah, but I don't think that was even a consideration.
But I don't feel like Poe would have been the right character for them to do that with.
Yeah.
But if that
maybe
was what
Finn
they
would
were
have
doing,
been,
they should have shown us a scene where, like, Admiral Purple Hair is going, "Oh, I wonder if Poe is a good guy."
Admiral Purple Hair.
Yes, I refuse to call her by her name.
I don't even know.
That's
what her name
Director
is.
Admiral Purple
Admiral
Hair.
Purple Hair.
Yeah.
Is that the bathtub? What
I
the
just
fuck
call her.
is this?
I just call her Dr. Sattler.
That would be better. This also seemed dangerous to do.
Here's the thing, too. Why don't they ever have this thing in any of the other movies? Like, the Millennium Falcon has had this thing for, what? How long is the Millennium Falcon? How we at 20 years?
Yeah.
30 years?
Mm-hmm. My question is also, where do they buy replacements? Like, because they got to replenish that shit.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you can. It's like the spare tire.
Well, I mean,
you
most
can go,
Isleys, you can get a lot of stuff like that there.
As long as you don't pay with Republic credits.
Right.
if you buy 2 of those, they throw in a free set of power converters.
Yeah.
What are power converters like beers? Are they like
What do you
Pokemon
think Watto's
cards?
up to right now?
Oh, he's like probably 400 pounds
Yeah,
now.
Watto is either 400 pounds, dying of congestive heart failure, or he's already dead.
Nah, he's alive. Because someone like that somehow survives all this shit.
Yo, if Watto doesn't have herpes, I'll fucking eat my own foot.
Watto
Because
had
there's
herpes in Phantom Menace.
Watto was probably the one who like the first one to get herpes. It's nice that he's been to Ace Hardware and got each of one of those keys made.
I love how he just taps on the screen like, something's fucked up.
Oh,
No, it's good.
I fixed it.
It's good.
Did you try blowing in it?
Did you turn it off and turn it back on?
Here, let me do it. Oh, you did? Let me try it, though.
I wish the IT guy, they would like submit an IT support ticket. Guy comes over. What the fuck is it, Kevin? This is the 4th one this week.
IT is awful. IT couldn't fix someone's computer at my work. I literally walked to this person's computer, took 5 seconds on it and fixed it. And she looked at me and goes, IT couldn't do it. They worked on it for 2 days.
What the
I was like, what are they getting paid for? Oh, mutiny here.
How could I understand what I'm doing? You haven't fucking told us anything.
This
How
thing
you
looks
guys
like
love
an
this?
iron.
I know it is. It goes right into an iron.
Oh,
That's pretty cool.
that's stupid.
Yeah, I love the two
Yeah,
reactions.
see, why do that?
It's
okay, that's
stupid.
kind of funny, I
It's
guess.
pretty cool.
This is funny. I think that's kind of funny. Putting a trash can on his head.
See, now, this is Rian Johnson making fun of R2-D2.
I've done that when I'm drunk.
Put a trash can on your head?
Yeah, I just walk around.
Horns, remember that time where I got drunk and put the trash in your bed in college?
Yeah, that was fun for all of
I
us.
think her name was Rachel.
Hi-oh! Hey, that's my ex. Susan is the piece of trash, not Rachel.
Sorry, Rachel, I represent you. I know, I'm sorry.
Also, Rachel, text me back. What are you doing? Come on.
Did Ray change clothes here?
Yeah, she did. It's like the Academy Award. She's about to present a different award, so she had to fucking switch it up.
No, I never noticed that. She had white clothes on, and now she has like darker colored clothes.
She's like, when we touched hands, I got a great idea for a song I'd like to play. He's like, well, I happen to have an acoustic guitar right here.
Just going for the kiss. Just try it, man.
And hey, just public service announcement, little tongue never hurt anybody.
So he was trying to be a Jedi, but now he's not. So does that
Because
mean,
his uncle tried to kill him.
right? But
Yeah, and that's why he's telling Rey. He's like, dude, I can get Rey to the dark side now because she knows how fucking nuts Luke is.
well, no. Hold on. The real question here is,
She does look.
has he
thicker
been
than-
laid?
Her cheeks. I saw it. Her cheeks.
Has he been laid what, like ever?
Yeah,
Actually, I bet Kylo Ren's a virgin.
that's what I'm saying. That's why he hasn't made the move on Rey.
When he touched her hand, albeit
nervous.
through the Force, he definitely came his pants.
Look how
Snoke
nice he is. Well, like that's polite.
That is pretty nice. His ring, I thought it was a cigarette.
I just think he should have had some like hors d'oeuvres or something. Like you're having a guest over.
Does no one recognize that BB-8 is actually like just the trash can that they just had in the break room?
Hey guys, this trash can is all over the place.
Rose looks that hat really fits her.
They're
Her name's
Russian
Rose, right?
hats.
I've been calling her Rose the whole time. That is her name, isn't it?
It's Jessica Hedwig's sister, right?
Yeah. Although if that was Jessica Hedwig, I couldn't find her in the cast list as having come back for this movie. I know she was in or no, she's not in Force Awakens. She's in Rogue One, I think.
Yeah, I think she's in Rogue One.
Okay, well then never mind. That wouldn't have been her then. I love these little boards, even though I can never tell what they're tracking because there's
No,
nothing.
she's not in Rogue One. She's in Force Awakens.
You sure? I thought she was a part of the team at the very end when they're.
I don't know. It's gonna bother me, so I'll look it up.
Either way, I love her.
Oh, I do too. Calling Wing. Mm.
Oh yeah.
Where did she get the gun?
She's from the gun store.
I mean,
I love how they keep the stun. Like when Leia in A New Hope shoots that or gets shot by that stormtrooper, it looks just like that.
Have you ever seen how like how like the Stormtroopers never hit anything in the original trilogy? They actually never changed their guns, their blasters back from stun. to
Stunned.
They're a pacifist group. They're really not going to hurt anybody.
We never heard the actual command to change it back.
Yeah, so then it didn't happen according to the "why can't I see Luke poop" guy. So is this an arcade? Is this where we take the tickets to like look at the prizes?
Yeah, and like 2,000 tickets gives you like a bubble, like one of those bubbles.
Yeah, or we can buy Airheads for 2 tickets each. Guys, we can get 7,000 Airheads or 1 notebook.
Dude, I take the 7,000 airheads in a heartbeat.
Damn, they win that. I love evil version of BB-8.
Oh, hey, remember we were told that she was going to be in this movie a
Wow.
lot?
Yeah, I mean, we won't harp on it too long, but what the fuck are they doing with Captain Phasma?
I was so, like, there was a lot of talk about, oh, man, they're going to go into her character.
I've heard that for 2 movies, and we've gotten like 6 combined minutes of her.
Yeah, it was Force Awakens. She was in.
Okay. Well then, but did she come back in this?
Negative Ghost Rider.
Yeah, but was that supposed to be her character?
I don't think so. I think that's something that we just made up because we thought it would have been cool.
Yeah.
Hey, that's on you, Admiral Purple Hair. She says, like, looks at such regret. I like him. You just needed to tell him there was a plan. Like, don't show regret right now.
This makes it. This is like the coach in the media. Like, yeah, both teams played hard, and then it cuts to him in the locker room. He's like, "I'm gonna fucking kill all of you," to his players.
Just
Now, there was a lot of talk afterwards that they were kind of implying some sort of a romantic relationship between these two.
I mean, they should have shown it.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, if they're not scissoring on screen, according to the one guy that needs to see people poop and
If the
pee.
movie had just turned into like 10 minutes of them scissoring, I was like, well, this was worth it.
I mean, it'd be a better movie
Yeah. Okay, how much better would this movie have been, honestly?
if it was a porn.
Well, okay,
Way
yes.
better.
But if it had been Leia,
Did
who
she have
stands-
more nose?
I'm right
That
here.
chick had the biggest nose. No,
Hey.
she
Yeah.
even had a bigger
Lady-
nose.
Nothing wrong with big noses, bro.
Lady Bird?
Nothing
I've been
wrong
talking
with
about
Lady
her
Bird.
every scene she's been in.
Okay, how much more impactful would this movie have been if the person who stayed behind was Leia or Admiral Akbar even? Like, I don't give a shit that it was Admiral Purple Hair.
Or even Lady Bird, who I still think is the best Muppet in this whole film. God, this scene, when I was in theaters watching this, like obviously before you know what's going to happen, I'm like, this is going to be like maybe the second greatest scene in a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
And it still is a really good scene.
I was waiting for the big reveal.
So the fight after I really like too, but
yeah, the fight's incredible.
But they've already fucked up basically the only thing that I really cared about.
The fight is fantastic. It's one of the best lightsaber scenes.
When I say they fucked it up, just to reiterate, I don't mean because my prediction was wrong. I mean because they took the whole notion that this character was important and laughed at us.
If I was wrong every time my prediction of how a movie is going to go was wrong, or if I was mad every time my prediction was wrong, I would literally hate every movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, like the fact that you thought Iceland was going to beat the Mighty Ducks, like, drives me crazy.
They were 4.5 goal favorites, goddammit. The other thing I hate about Snoke is, like, all his scars and everything. Like, okay, so he's just a dude that, like, tripped and his lawnmower ran over his head?
This pisses me off, guys. This pisses me off. And again, filmed fantastically. The scenes, the shots, everything's great. But what they did to the character is what is just disturbing.
Like, why does he want Luke? He's just some dude. Maybe, like, used to be neighbors with Luke. He's like, he used to steal my newspaper.
On Tatooine.
And how does he know the Force? I guess none of that matters, according to Rian Johnson.
Because the Sith only have two, and there was the Emperor, and there was Vader. I would have... I mean, again, it goes back to then it's going to get that theory thing. The Plagueis thing, like... It'd be a hard sell, but I'd buy it.
I'd have bought it.
It's the one everyone wanted, but probably I was really buying into the Mace Windu thing.
I really bought into the Mace Windu one.
What was the thing about the skin color?
You could make him Ryan Roland Smith, former Seattle Mariners starting pitcher, and as long as you told us why he was important, that would be fucking cool to me. But to make him nobody, never give us anything, and be like, yeah, he's out now. Do they have a bartender here, or a waiter? What's the deal? This guy behind him really wants their table. He's like, you guys almost done?
Yeah.
He's
watching it like a fucking hawk.
He's hovering. And she's like, there's a table for 4. He's like, well, I got friends meeting me here. Well, we're not going to seat you till they get here, okay?
You know, Admiral Purple Hair, I know we've shit on her, but this is a smart fucking move, what she does here in a minute.
Yeah, we shit on the Japs when they did it to us.
Whoa.
That escalated quickly.
I'm just saying it's a smart move. You really need like 10,000 troops for this.
It's a show of force.
Yeah.
Makes total sense for your world leader, president, whatever, to just want to march his military around. It also means he has a very large penis. Hux's sideburns have grown 3 inches since this movie started.
And also, why do you need to make the payment in front of them? Like, they don't... You can do that anywhere else.
And let's be honest, are they actually, like... They're not carrying that much cash around on them, are they?
But also, they just met him, too. You lying... That emotional reaction, you've only known him for, like, an hour. And you met him in prison. That's
Which is weird, because most times when you meet somebody in prison, those are lifelong friendships. Yeah, those people end up being in your wedding, you know, it's like...
look at me and Geiger.
That's true.
I always forget you guys met in prison.
But you guys weren't cellmates, you know, sometimes you get too close to somebody.
Well, it was actually kind of nice because we shared a wall, but we were in a different, different cells.
That's good. So if you want to get away, you can...
Yeah. And I didn't know what he looked like for a while, so it was kind of that mystery.
I'm so glad I represented both of you.
But you have a good point, Cycly. Rose is like, you lying snake. It's like, dude, you knew this guy for 2 hours, and like, let's think of the context with which you ran into him.
We have no emotional connection.
What was the First Order waiting on? And again, I'm not trying to poke plot holes, guys. I really just am not. I'm like partly drunk, so I don't really know. Why were they waiting to fire on those escape ships?
they weren't paying attention to the escape ships.
Or did they shut down
doesn't make sense. That's literally the reason they didn't realize there was escape ships going. But they can see. They can see them from their window.
So now he knows. Oh, he just read her mind, right?
I think that's the plan. The whole plan of like escape pods drove me crazy because fine, but don't act like the First Order can't all of a sudden wouldn't notice that.
Yeah, again, I wish I knew Snoke's motivation. I wish I knew why he hated Luke so much. I wish I knew why he wanted Kylo. Because it seems very personal, right? To take Kylo from Luke and then to obviously want Luke dead.
There's just so much about this guy that I need to know.
And Kylo, like, his only real motive, we have great motivation for him to hate Luke and even, like, his parents, I guess. But Han in Force Awakens is like, Snoke's poison your mind. So now we learn what Snoke, just like the drug dealer that hung out at the middle school now, and he's like, he's a nobody. And I guess this is what I'll say. JJ can retcon in Episode 9 some of the Snoke stuff by giving us additional backstory, but he's dead, you know? Like, you can't bring him back.
He was clearly not that all-powerful.
Yeah, he can't fix what they did, but he can write around it.
The thing is, the Emperor was killed by Vader. Like, the whole Sith thing is like the Emperor, the apprentice.
The apprentice kills the teacher.
The teacher, yeah. Like, this whole thing doesn't make sense.
Which, I mean, I guess technically is still true, because if Kylo Ren is the...
But I don't see him being the overarching. But I mean,
it is. But they've said since The Force Awakens that Snoke's impact was much further reaching. He had it out for Leia, Han. He went after their kid. He had it out for Luke. He went after his nephew. So who is this guy? Just some dude from the homeowners association that wants Luke to trim his hedges, and that's the only reason he's a villain?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if they give us some backstory, it could redeem it a little bit. But like, it doesn't. I don't know.
Guys, when I first saw this in theaters, I thought Kylo Ren was going to light the lightsaber and Snoke was going to stop it. Like, it was half open and he was going to be able to stop it, like, before it sliced him in half to really prove how strong he is. Now, this, again, probably one of the best choreography. Other than the fight scene in Phantom Menace, might be the best lightsaber scene in...
They wreck shit. They just wreck shit.
This is fucking incredible, dude. But the whole time I'm thinking, like, did they really just kill Snoke like that? Come on, give it full thrusters. I've heard that before. Am I right? Big F. Finn's like, fuck, that's a cool name. All right.
Like, why haven't I used that before?
He's like, that is definitely a tattoo I'm getting when we get back home.
I feel like they were trying to make him Han more than anything.
What's Del Toro's character's name? Oh,
yeah, I can see that.
The guy who wants the money and doesn't care.
Yo, this little lightsaber whip thing is fucking cool.
Yeah, I want one of those.
That is pretty sick.
And what kind of armor are they wearing that those things don't, like...
It actually looks like plastic. Like, it looks like Tupperware.
I think he's on the in-between parts of it.
It's seriously Tupperware that they're wearing. There's no way that's protective.
And
then
who
are these guys?
Oh, this is Chris.
And Garrett. He's a great guy.
Garrett's cool. I heard he's starting the fantasy league this year.
That guy got it bad.
Oh, Jesus.
God.
Fuck.
Sorry, bro. Did I get you?
He's like, oops.
I love when you take an already dead body and throw them in a blender. It's like, yeah, it's a Monday, you know? I need to get my anxiety out. These dudes are pretty powerful, because we've seen Kylo Ren with
these capable. Who are they? Who trained them?
Probably Snoke, but
but he's a nobody though. That's the problem.
Exactly.
So they're like special forces for the First Order, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but still again, they're asking by a woman who's using a lightsaber for the 8th time ever.
Yeah, but she fucked up that rock, so like.
That's true. She did fuck up.
To be fair, she's fighting one of them. Kylo Ren's killed like the other 11, and he stabbed through the guy and then tossed him in the blender, which is pretty fucking cool.
Again, but these people are wearing Tupperware as armor. I don't hold a lot of like. Look at that. That anything can penetrate that. You don't think with all the technology there, they've developed armors that protect from lightsabers? Just a thought.
Maybe. That was cool too.
Yeah, I did like that.
I like that.
Pretty awesome.
Actually, there was nothing about any of that I didn't like.
No, that was an absolutely incredible scene.
Except for their Tupperware armor. It might be the best fight scene other than in Phantom Menace.
So is he upset now that he killed him?
No, I think he's hoping he's convinced her to join him or something. I mean, he kind of has a point here. Let it all die. Let's something new.
Kylo's no John Calipari, but he's got a good recruiting pitch.
He's like a Bayheim.
Yeah, meaning he'll probably get put on probation soon.
Yeah, but it's fine.
They're really doubling down. They kill Snoke and then they do this in the same scene. Although you tell yourself in the audience, and just what you know from villains in movies, that he's lying to her, but he's not.
I don't think he is. I think he literally believes in the idea of starting something new. No Sith, no Jedi.
Truly bringing balance.
Yeah, like I kind of like this is what I got at the second rewatch. I respect Kylo Ren a lot more than I did. I don't blame him for kind of like feeling this way.
No,
he
makes total
character
sense.
Actually,
well, I mean, like, put yourself in his shoes. Okay, so you are born, you're special, but you don't know why. Your parents ship you off to live with your uncle. Your uncle tries to kill you, and then you have this dude who, as fucked up views as he has, goes and trains you and teaches you.
Yeah, dude, if you're Kylo Ren, your two real mentors were, like you said, your uncle tried to fucking kill you and then Snoke. Like, yeah, you're going to be a little fucked up.
And then you see the first girl that, like, pays attention to you is Rey.
Who's like a 9.
Yeah, on a bad day.
And she touches your hand, obviously you're going to cum your pants immediately.
I mean, she didn't even touch my hand and I cum my pants.
Yeah. Plus, like, he went to private school, so, like, he never got to develop a lot of those social skills. Mm-hmm. Like, Hux is probably the guy he interacts with the most. You know how fun he would be at a sleepover? Oh, my God. Bore snore.
He's definitely the first one to fall asleep.
Oh, yeah. It's like 7:30. You're like, dude, we're about to make popcorn and play Mario Kart. What are you doing?
Yeah, put Skittles and peanuts and peanut M&Ms in the popcorn.
Skittles in popcorn?
You've never done that?
I've done M&Ms, but fruit in popcorn?
Yeah, it's like the sweet and salty.
No, that's like tart. Skittles are.
Skittles aren't tart. Sweet tarts are tart.
I don't know, man. It's fruit in popcorn. That's fucking weird.
You're fucking weird.
I like these guys. They have like the black armor on the side. That's pretty cool. I didn't notice this live. And by live, I mean when I saw it in theaters.
I like what Admiral Purple Hair does here. This is something we haven't seen, and it's creative and cool, and I respect this.
When you saw it in theaters, based on the sound, did you think something was fucked up with your screen?
I did think something was fucked up with the screen.
They had to put out like I don't want to say a warning, but like they had to let people know, like, hey, at a certain point in the movie, like sound's gonna cut out for a few seconds. It's not an issue with
the same thing. Yeah, but it was a great impact.
And I mean, did this win for sound editing? No, Dunkirk did.
Yeah.
Rian Johnson, I think Rian Johnson made a lot of ballsy decisions in this movie. I did not like a lot of them, but this was one of the more. That fight scene we just saw in this were fucking badass. Like, it's hard to do something in, what do we have, 9 Star Wars movies, 10 after Solo. It's hard to do shit that we've never seen, and we've never seen this.
I'm so not looking forward to Solo.
Yeah, I've never
Like,
been.
that's one thing that, as bad as this movie is, I was at least excited to go into the theater. I am not excited.
At least with Solo, we have really low expectations. I had really high expectations.
Yeah, I think that's what hurt this movie so
It
much.
definitely hurt this movie.
Was so fucking excited for this, and I had read such good reviews.
That just shows you how much you can't believe reviews and critics.
But you have to understand, I think the big thing is people watch these movies from the idea of they're not big Star Wars nerds. Like, I feel like Last Jedi is popular among people who like going to just normal movies, whatever, and they're not Star Wars fans. It's the actual hardcore Star Wars fan doesn't enjoy these movies. Like this movie, particularly.
Even if I'm just a normal person, I don't get it.
See, the thing is, I think you can't take away the lens you're looking at it. Like, I have friends who are not into Star Wars, and they really like this movie. Like, really like this movie.
But they don't. They don't
and then
like
I start
seeing just
asking
normal
the
stories.
questions of the problems I had, and they're like, "Oh, well, I didn't think about that." You know, like they don't
Yeah.
have the problems that we have because.
I guess if your defense of a movie is I didn't think about that, then I mean I don't really know if that's.
But if you're not a true Star Wars, like an in-depth Star Wars fan, like you go see the movie once ever,
And I can see you getting.
it's entertaining. That's all it is.
Yeah, I can see. You
But I
getting,
feel like. Sorry, Banner.
Well, I was just saying I can see you getting kind of
Chrome Dome. God.
so stupid. I can see you getting kind of caught up in the visuals of it and that was cool looking and things like that, and the special effects to an extent.
But I guess my complaint with this is really just basic storytelling 101. Two of the main characters, and you could probably argue the main character in the movie, were told basically their backstory is insignificant, and literally like the entire point of them in the movie is just non-essential.
I will say this.
By the
too.
way, he just had the high ground. Sorry, I just had to say
See
that.
it clearly fight over. By the way, why does he have 4 of those like lighter pens on his pocket protectors?
They're marijuana pens.
Rebel, yeah. Yo, you want to hit this vape real quick, Phasma? So is she dead? Can we finally just fucking stop with the she's important?
I think so.
Narrative.
So here's my thing too: is to make a movie that's a good movie and it's 2.5 hours long, you don't realize it's 2.5 hours long.
Anal penetration. Oh, sorry. I thought you were gonna say what does it need?
Well, I mean, you're not wrong in saying that. But this movie to me felt like 2.5 hours.
It
And
feels
that's
like, yeah.
And that's a problem.
Thank you for showing Snoke like that, the all important.
Yeah, that's like the key where they're like, no, he's definitely dead. His tongue's out of his mouth.
Here's the thing. Hux is like, wait a minute. Did I just get a promotion?
He's one of those guys, dude. He's a company man. You fucking stick around, it'll all work out.
Also, here's the point that annoys me. Obviously, him and Kylo have not seen eye to eye. Now Kylo's in charge. Kylo should fire him. Like, look, you and I don't, like, I'm going a different direction.
Yes men around him. Hux is not that guy.
And not for Kylo. Hux would be a yes man to Snoke.
Oh, absolutely.
But not to Kylo. Yeah, see? Like, yeah, fire him right now.
Hux is like, oh, we are going to do some performance reviews on Monday. How stupid is Hux? Obviously, like you have a ruler. Somebody takes over. Why are you still loyal to a dude who's in 2
And do you
pieces
remember the
behind?
original trilogy? Those commanders were getting replaced like every other scene. Vader
Oh, yeah.
was killing all of them all
Dude,
the
if
time.
if you read their Glassdoor reviews, people were like, it's a chop shop. If you come in as commander, you'd be there 2 weeks.
You mess up once, you will be killed.
They don't empower you as a manager at all. I couldn't even work with my team. It was a fucking joke. Also, they make you stay till 5:30 on Fridays.
Did you guys like this red salt planet?
I liked it.
I did too. I thought it was again, it's hard when you've got this many movies to do a fresh idea. And I like the fresh idea.
And I like how they made it different from Empire and Hoth. And then when he licks and they say it's salt. Like, I'm glad they show that this is actually a red planet.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
like salt deposits everywhere.
Because I
They
thought
take-
from the trailers, I thought it was going to be another Hoth-like planet.
They take a lot of the cool concepts we like them being hunkered down, having to fend off an invasion, is very much like the opening scene or the first act of Empire too, which is cool.
I like using a lot of the archaic kind of computers and stuff here, like what they used in
it looks very much like
Hoth
that. Yeah.
and Endor and stuff.
Dude, they nail the aesthetic. Like, there's a great appreciation for that shit. Like, they don't forget where they're like Drake. You know, they started from the bottom, now they here.
This girl has seen herself right. She was literally like not doing anything in the beginning of the film. Like she was in the.
She was guarding the escape hatches.
Yeah, and now she's like giving instructions.
She definitely climbed the ranks very quickly.
Because she went to the casino planet.
Fuck the casino planet.
Look, you go to the casino, that'll age you quick.
So the Death Star is still a big enough thing that, like, they're scared of its technology.
Yeah, miniaturized Death Star tech doesn't sound like something that's a fucking joke.
See, the whole thing to me is like they're talking about like the rest of the systems. Like, if I'm the rest of the systems, this fight is clearly between the First Order. Like,
I'm not getting involved. Switzerland,
why
bro.
isn't every other planet just in charge of themselves at this point? This is clearly a fight between two entities that doesn't involve the rest of the universe. Like, each faction is clearly strapped with, you know, like they're both on their last legs. Like, why would I answer this call? No, we're good.
This guy is ballsy to just go up there and stand like everyone else.
And why would you put that in your mouth? You don't know what the
You
fuck
don't
that
know
is.
what that is, dude.
Why would you pick up the spot that he stepped? What if he stepped in like dog shit? Or that
The
little
guy-
like the ice wolf shit?
I wish he had gone into like violent vomiting right there. Oh, God.
The guy to the right's like, why'd you lick that? He's like, you've seen me lick worse stuff,
I
right?
made a huge
Remember
mistake.
Cabo? I guess.
Cabo 03?
Yeah, you remember that.
Yeah, it was. I don't, which is part of the problem.
Yeah, I dug this.
And again, I like the new spaceships, the new kind of ideas, the different crafts that they have. This reminds me a little bit of pod racing.
It did. It made me think that too.
Yeah.
Do we have a fat guy with a 5 o'clock shadow? Because he's definitely the
If
first
he
one to
is,
go.
he's like,
There
I
she
need to
is.
get out of here.
What's the saying? Like, if you look around and don't see a fat guy with a 5 o'clock shadow, you're the fat
You're
guy
right.
with the 5 o'clock. It's like, oh fuck! I would definitely volunteer to be the guy. Hey, I'll give you the cover fire, guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang back.
Yeah.
Like, well, why did you volunteer for that? No, I just think I'd be. That's a skill set that I think I have.
Anytime I watch like the old school war movies, like Braveheart or something, I'm like, I would always be the guy in the back. Like, no, I'll be out here.
Yeah, I'll be the guy that plays the drums.
I'll be like, great speech. I'm more of like a rear charger.
I'll make sure that no one gets away. Wait, what? No, I'm good back here.
You guys need a good cook? I'm your man.
You guys got Blue Apron?
Yeah.
I can do a Blue Apron.
This
They
is
give me
like
the
so.
instructions step by
Yeah,
step.
it's really hard to fuck that up.
This is so fucking unfair with the TIE fighters.
Yet they somehow don't all get annihilated.
Why don't they just spin and like drive around in circles and create enough of this red dust stuff that they can't even see anything?
They should try spinning. That's a good trick.
Well, I was gonna say I'll try that R2. If they didn't have these fucking sticks coming out the bottom, they'd be so much harder for the TIE fighters to see from up top. This is what the Millennium Falcon does, bro. It shows up at
It
the
just
11th
shows
hour.
up. Fuck the porg.
Fuck the porg. I thought you were going to say fuck the porgies. Yeah, you do.
I would love to sit in that. When Star Wars Land gets made, I hope there's a part where you can sit in the turret part of the Millennium
There's
Falcon.
gotta be. I'm pretty sure they're making a ride where you're you're in the Millennium Falcon.
You know that line is going to take. That's all you're going to do that whole day is sit in that line.
Worth
I'm
it.
okay with that.
We'll just alternate who goes and gets the drinks and just chill.
At some point, we're going to have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, we'll alternate that too.
We all pee in a cup.
Look, I'm wearing adult diapers, so it's cool.
Yeah, but you can only pee in that like once, and then you're.
No, you get at least you get at least 3.
You get a couple in there.
Yeah, you at least get 3 in there.
Oh, good shot!
I
Thank
cannot
you. Thank you for that.
Why would they bring the porg with them?
Yeah,
you brought like a whole family.
You know you should. You know there's rules on this planet. Like you don't take animals to other countries because it disrupts the ecosystem. Like you just took these porgs from this remote, most hidden planet in the universe.
Now we have a porg fucking ice wolf, and who knows what kind of weird ass creature we have running around.
You're gonna fuck things up, man. You can't do this.
What if that porg? I would watch a movie of the porg falling in love with the ice wolf.
That's the next Star Wars story.
Okay, so would the baby be like just a regular wolf, or like a wolf with feathers like the porg, or would it look like the porg but be all crystally?
I think that's what it is.
I think it would be like Articuno in Pokemon.
Again, I have a question. I talked about this in Rogue One. I talked about this in Empire. Why does the Empire, and again, First Order, always start so far back on their attacks? Like, drop them off closer.
Cycling, you have to park back there because now there's going to be no traffic getting out.
They just drop?
They don't want to spend the $20 on parking up close.
Yeah, dude. You can park at the IKEA for free.
Like, I mean...
Sorry, some of us weren't made of money.
Like, you could have dropped that battering ram right in front of the door from space. You didn't need to drop it 20 miles out.
And you use the fuel. I'm with you.
Cycle, you played in the NBA for 8 years for the Rockets and Magic. We're not made of money, so we park far away, don't have to pay for parking.
Clearly. We'll walk, guys. It's fine.
This was an interesting scene. I actually didn't... I'm trying to remember my initial thoughts when I saw this happen.
I liked it until the saving grace.
I think I got mad at Rose.
I definitely got mad at Rose. Because, again, I at no point thought of a romantic interest... And then all of a sudden now there's a fucking romantic interest.
Every time I think it's about to take a deep, like, oh, he's about to sacrifice himself.
Yeah.
This movie's about to redeem itself. They back away from the hard choice. Every time I think they're making a difficult choice, and I'm like, good for them, they crap out.
They don't. I don't like how he got there. But I appreciate the fact that they got him there as Poe becoming a better leader, and making that decision of knowing when to go in guns a-blazing and
you mean
not.
Finn?
Yeah, no, Poe.
Oh, you're talking about Poe.
Because
okay.
Poe said no, pull back. That
oh, sorry. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Where at the beginning of the movie he would have said, yeah, fuck him up.
Yeah, I actually didn't even think about that part of it.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's a good point.
Yeah. Again, I don't like how he got there by them not telling him the plan and purple hair doing all that shit, blah, blah, blah. But
guys, lady Asian drivers, am I right?
That's actually she's actually acting like she did it on purpose for love. She's like, oh, that was actually...
It's like, oh, wow, I was trying to park at this Hobby Lobby. I'm so sorry.
Oh, let me save your one life and kill everyone else. That's worth it.
Finn's like, I don't know, my neck's starting to hurt.
What if he's sort of just punching her like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so if you're claiming the insurance, whose fault is this?
I don't know. She hit him. Banner, are you getting a Han on Cloud City vibe from Finn's get up right now? Wait till they show him full.
A little bit.
He's got the white shirt and the boots.
I saved you. Oh, now everyone's dying, but I'm going to get a kiss out of it.
Their relationship, I just don't get.
That was like the most emotionless kiss ever as well.
That was like an I'm just horny.
That's also the worst death I've ever seen.
Well, she's not dead.
I think she's dead.
Pretty sure we see her later.
Yeah, you definitely see her later in the movie.
She's dead.
That's just wishful thinking.
Don't give me this. I need it.
This is her trying to get insurance fraud.
I'm dying, but...
Again, all the visual...
Arya Stark here.
It's Billy Lord. Show a little respect.
But how much does she...
She does look similar to...
That looks like the old Daenerys' brother. The old woman does.
By the way, Banner, real quick, speaking of Arya Stark, today X-Men Dark Phoenix dropped the X-Men from the title.
So it's just Dark Phoenix?
Yeah.
Stupid.
Leia, you definitely feel the wear and tear. She's like, God, this job fucking sucks.
She's like, I never get to take a vacation.
I need some cocaine, like, right now.
And Diet Coke.
Too soon.
When will it not be too soon? When can we make these jokes and it be appropriate?
9/11 took about 5 years.
10 more minutes. Now, this scene, I don't have a problem with this scene. I have a lot of issues with this movie. I'll let this one go. But you know right away, like, something's up.
Yeah, honestly, I did not catch that he was going to be a Force ghost.
I just knew he looked way different.
Because of the groomed hair and beard and everything. I didn't catch that. Did you guys?
No. I thought he was just like, oh, I'm going to look good.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought
you dressed for the job you're about to do.
He bought that just for men where, like, you can stroke away some of the gray on the way there.
I like touch of gray. Been nice.
A little salt and pepper action.
Mm-hmm. Well, ladies love that shit.
They love that.
They actually do, man. Like
how much time is being wasted right now?
This is a scene that we all really wanted, though, Luke. And
I'm being an ass. Yeah, no, this is a great scene. It's great getting them back together.
I do kind of hate, though, how like they have to reincorporate the dice to this.
I just don't get it.
They made it seem like that was part of the original trilogy. This was never a thing.
I actually asked the Geiger when we left. I was like, dude, am I like just a fucking idiot? Was that like ever in the original trilogy?
Leia literally went, what is this?
Look, even if they put it, I would be okay with it, even if I saw it in Force Awakens. I don't even remember seeing it in Force Awakens.
I'm gonna look this up. Seriously, what if Leia had been like, what the fuck is this? Why did you, I don't want this.
Yeah.
She's like, I think Luke's having dementia. He's just giving like little trinkets that he finds.
Luke's had one too many concussions.
Luke's just walking right into Sauron.
I also didn't catch that when he walks, he doesn't leave the red footprints.
I didn't notice that either. I think I actually read it online afterwards.
Yeah, when I read it online afterwards.
I love the new age AT-ATs. Him walking out, this is like when your Uber shows up at the bar and you're like, God, we did some fucking damage here tonight, boys.
That's a cool shot. Again, it goes back to the whole thing of like, the shots are epic in this film.
They're incredible. Aesthetically, like, I mean, I think Johnson, there wasn't really one area that I didn't like that much.
No, that is totally photoshopped in.
We're looking at a photo from the original movie.
There's no fucking way. Okay.
Of the dice?
I'm actually gonna put in A New Hope after we get off pod here, and I'm gonna look for
the name of your dick.
What scene is it in?
It's when
I'll send it over to you.
Yeah, we'll send it to you. It's Obi-Wan and Chewie and Han and Luke in the Millennium Falcon.
When they're dropping him off at Alderaan. Oh wait, it doesn't exist.
Boom, roasted. This is Kylo. They're like, dude, Kylo's a little fucked up in the head. Hux, they're just lasers, dude. Chill out.
Yeah.
Are we paying by the laser?
I just want some sharks with some freaking lasers on their head.
Laser beams attached to their heads. At this point, if like you shot like 10,000 lasers, I'd be like, "Hey guys, I'm not gonna go outside and face this guy."
I definitely wouldn't go outside.
Like, can we retreat?
I wish he had. If this were the Expendables,
fuck that part. Sorry to interrupt you, Jeff.
Yeah, that was pretty weak.
He just dusted his shoulder off.
I was gonna say, if this were the Expendables, there'd be like a really bad one-liner said right here.
So this is the Expendables because there is a bad one-liner.
No, like right when Luke walked up, he'd be like, "You missed," or something fucking stupid.
He literally dusted his shoulder off. Like,
yeah, that's cool.
Fuck. Like every time the movie had a chance to be great, they shit on it on purpose.
Dude, Finn is like making Rose look bad. She's like, "Oh, what am I, overweight? You can barely drag me across the fucking ice desert."
It's a salt desert, first off. Second off, I love Kylo Ren's shit too.
Is that the same one he had in Force
I
Awakens?
think so. Yeah.
Why
Like
is
when he
recording
lands
it with a camcorder?
when he lands on Jakku. Well, you want to be able to document it, Cycly. He's like, guys, I got some great photos from the battle. I'll tag you in.
You Facebook living this right now?
Finn, I got a really good one of you dragging Rose's unconscious corpse into the bay. Oh yeah, tag me in that.
Yeah.
I think the other thing too, and this is way, way, way down on the list of things that bother me, if it even bothers me. I just thought it was a little interesting that, like, a lot of liberties are taken in this with the Force. Like, obviously the Leia thing kind of sucks, but like Luke doing this is so far.
It doesn't kind of suck. It totally sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but I'm saying like the story points really upset me more than that stuff at the end of the day. But like we see Jedi Masters do things with the Force in this movie that we never even knew were possible before. And that's fine, but it's like Johnson did take a lot of liberties with what the Force can do.
My problem with it is make it fucking believable. Some of the stuff just isn't believable. This stuff with Luke, okay, that's believable. The stuff with Leia, that's not as believable to me.
We've had 8 movies to see some aspect of the Force in these areas, and this movie, like, I agree 100%, Jeff. This movie just jumps the shark. We've had 8 movies to see where the limitations of the Force are.
Every time,
and this movie pushed it beyond anything
every
we've
movie.
seen.
There's been a little bit of progression, a little bit more of the Force. We're getting a little bit more piece of the puzzle. This
First
movie,
off,
we get way too much of the puzzle.
Finally, someone told 3PO to just shut the fuck up. God, that's been building for a while. But yeah, I mean, like, is what we've seen that the Force can do, like, can you not write within the confines of that? Because there's a lot there. Like, if you can't write around, I don't even want to say around that. Like, it's very fluid in terms of what you can make the characters of the Force do for the plot. But Rian Johnson's like, dude, I need more. I need somebody who's dead and has only used it to communicate, sucking themselves in from space. And then I'm not even going to shit on the Luke thing because I actually don't mind that at all. But we just haven't seen it, even from like Yoda, who's supposedly the strongest Jedi, maybe sans Mace Windu ever. See, now this definitely looks like snow. Is this just because we're up in the mountains?
Why
Is it solid and snow? Yeah, exactly. The frozen foxes make me think it's a cold planet.
Why don't the crystal foxes make red footprints?
By the way, the crystal fox would be like a great titty bar on this planet. Like a name for a titty bar.
I'd go.
Yeah.
You walk in and see, this is definitely snow now, right? Like what's?
Yeah, it's actually snowing right now.
Okay.
Again, right here with somebody that has no training, doesn't know what the fuck's going on, she can lift all those rocks.
But see, I'll even let this stuff go because we've seen before, like, people figuring out the Force, and we know she is. It's when he does stuff that we've never, ever, ever seen happen by anyone.
So
like
they
Kylo
never make
Ren,
contact here with the lightsabers, right?
I guess not. Like, is Kylo Ren?
He kissed Leia and held her hand. So why is contact with lightsabers not allowed?
Well, maybe her and Leia are doing one of those like weird sex
maybe
things.
they're doing the
That's true. Yeah.
Like the telepathic phone sex stuff.
Where it's like $3.99 for the first hour, and then after that, it's like
I was seriously like, I said this to the guy I was sitting next to. I literally said, "At what point is Luke gonna dab here?" I was seriously waiting for a dab.
I'd have lost my.
I was already losing my shit. I was like, that's what the movie made me feel. I was like, there's going to be a dab at some point. Everything you knew is wrong. Dab.
Hashtag resistance lives. We laugh. We're probably not that far away from someone saying hashtag.
The thing is, if someone in the writers' room, and thank God we didn't exist in the writers' room, because we would have said it sarcastically, and they would all have bought it.
It would have ended up
like,
in the
yeah,
movie.
let's do it. Like, no, dude, I was kidding. No, we love it.
I think it would be really fun to just be in a writer's room, like all these people are serious, and we go, no, this is fucking stupid what you guys are doing.
What the hell is wrong?
You might as well just do this, and then that shit ends up in there.
Dude,
I think
look,
that's what happens.
Yo, Finn, play it cool a little bit,
Act
bro.
like you've been there before, bro.
Oh my gosh. Like, she's never gonna look at you as more than a friend if you're that thirsty. We get it. She's hot. Yo, give Hamill's credit. This is fucking acting, dude.
Again, he was the best actor in this entire movie, in my opinion.
Which is funny because he was like the worst actor.
He was the worst in the originals, yes.
He did. And you could see his progression through the originals so much, though.
100% you could. And again, this is now we're definitely getting confident Luke from Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing.
He is no reason to blame for any flaw in this movie. His character, his acting was great. We can talk about the writing and everything else.
He definitely portrayed. He did better than what the writing asked him to do.
Yeah, Banner, it's kind of cool to go back now and look at his feet because, yeah, you don't.
Obviously, and I didn't realize how much emphasis they put on his feet and Kylo Ren's feet until afterwards.
The footprints.
Yeah. I didn't realize how.
There's no footprints.
How much they showed it and the difference in it until you go back and you rewatch it.
It shows Luke.
I've been there when you're super hungover and you're trying to take a shit but you just can't quite get it out and you're like, my head hurts so bad but I have to get this shit out. That's what Luke just looked like.
He's like, if I could just get the first bit, I know the rest will take care of it.
Snap.
Oh, I've sent you that snap probably like 4 out of 7 days of the week.
Oh, and I love it. I got one from Jeff. I got one from you today. That's a rarity.
Yeah, a little later than normal too.
Yeah, it was a nice afternoon one. I'm not gonna lie to you.
This was pretty. I did. This was I actually think I said this in the review. This was my favorite scene. His death was really well done.
Do you guys think we're going to get him as a Force ghost in whatever the untitled episode 9 is?
I do, yeah.
The second to last Jedi?
I think we have to. No, the really the last
Jedi. No, but for real this time.
For real this time.
No,
Star
but like,
Wars
seriously.
episode 9, the last Jedi, but really though this time.
Like,
we
all had fun, but like seriously,
it's like 8 sentences long. No, but we swear this is actually.
I like the symmetry here between like the scene on Tatooine and A New Hope.
Yeah.
Where he's staring out at the sun's setting. See, that's like you see things like this, and I don't know how much of it is the studio, but like Rian Johnson does appreciate that he's living in this universe. That's why I don't get why he felt like he had to make these like big declarations of no, I'm an auteur filmmaker. This is my movie, but also like you can do that. You can make your own movie without taking a huge like shit while sticking your middle finger in it to all of us.
This is well done. The music here is really perfect.
John Williams, it's gonna be. I honestly, the day that he dies, I will probably have to call in sick that day to work.
Da 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 da.
They're like, you're calling in sick? You're like, yeah, well, John Williams has to call in dead, so I guess maybe you guys can understand. That was a big shot in the trailer too. That like overhead shot of them like walking through JCPenney.
How does Hux have a job? Come on, guys.
Like he just knows how to suck the right dick.
Guarantee you his dad is like some higher up in the First Order.
His dad was Snoke. That's actually the whole thing.
There you go. That's the twist right there.
His dad's like, I donate a lot of money to the First Order. He gets like
First Order University.
He has a suite to all those like bubble match games that the Emperor.
Big rivals with FOU State.
Yeah, they've got a great lacrosse team.
FOU A&M.
Their women's field hockey team is out of this world.
Yeah, but they're about to get on.
So why did the dice just disappear? I don't get it.
Were those fake too? But I don't get.
Nothing was real. It was all Force ghosts.
I'm serious. If you guys could comment below and explain the fucking dice to me, I'd really appreciate it.
I guess Rian Johnson's point is that nothing matters.
He's a big Linkin Park fan. Was that Linkin Park? Nothing
matters? In the end.
That's not Linkin Park.
In the end, it doesn't.
In the end, nothing matters.
Dude, Poe's the one who should be banging Rey.
He definitely is the best shot at it, I think.
I mean, she seems because he's like not showing interest.
I'm pretty sure she's still dead. He just put a blanket on her.
Dude, Finn has got it set up nice. It's like, all right, here's what we're gonna do. We aim for the stars with Rey. If we fucking strike out, we got Rose over here. comatose, and she's gonna be in a coma for at least a week. She doesn't have to see me hit on Rick.
What if everyone was like, dude, she's dead. Why did you give her a bed and a blanket? No.
Yeah, that's where like, dude, are you like a necrophiliac? What? Oh my God, get out of here. That's just, no, literally, get out of my room. You're gross.
Now is what you want.
Kind of. Now.
Oh, that lightsaber's
How are they going to explain her in the next one?
So is Leia really, like, the strongest Jedi?
She's the last Jedi.
I had heard that they might
here we go.
explain her death in the comics. This
So
kid.
is she gonna be? Is she in the next one at all?
No. JJ said that he looked through it and they didn't really have any footage he could use. Oh, this guy again.
Okay, so he used the Force, right?
Yep. Yeah, he did. Rian Johnson said in several interviews, this is where his quotes really made me mad. He's like, the point I was trying to convey is that while we've seen where a lot of these important Jedis come from, it can be anyone. That's the point of my whole movie, basically, is what to paraphrase.
The Resistance that really took over, that was in control, but has only been out of control for 3 years.
Here's the thing, though. I prefer Rebels over Resistance. Fuck you, Rian Johnson.
Fucking RIAN.
Hey, Ryan, spelled it wrong.
This movie obviously had a lot of issues, but the biggest was the typo on the director's name.
That's why this movie was bad. It was actually a good story, but he just misspelled everything, so they didn't know how to do it.
Or maybe all of us are.
They replaced every Y with an I.
So real quick, I want to ask you two guys: is this your least favorite Star Wars movie, Cycly?
It is. It is pretty close with Attack of the Clones with me.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's the worst because it's not, but is it your least favorite?
I think the thing about Attack of the Clones for me, I've obviously had over a decade to think about it. This is the most disappointing Star Wars movie to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it's the worst. It's probably not. The acting wasn't as bad. It wasn't as corny. I think the expectations were just so high for this movie that the reason I am so hard on it isn't because it was that bad. It's because I expected a lot more. So at the moment, 6 months after the movie, 5 months after the movie is released, to me it is the most disappointing and probably equal to tied with my last.
Banner.
I agree. This is definitely the most disappointing because going into this, I was the most excited. I had the highest expectations. Obviously, I wasn't alive when the originals came out, so I got to experience those movies as a child back to back to back, and I got to learn, Luke, I am your father. And so that whole thing was a really big deal. Then the prequels came out. We were still pretty young, and so I was just excited to see a Star Wars movie on the big screen. I didn't understand storytelling as well as I do now. Force Awakens, high expectations, and I felt like they delivered. They didn't knock it out of the park, but they delivered. This had higher expectations to build off of Last Jedi, and they failed miserably. Now, I said this in the review, and I still believe this. On any given day, you can convince me that this is better than Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace, or it's worse than Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace.
I agree.
So in any order, those are 7, 8, and 9. On any given day, you can talk me into any one of those.
I'll echo that, and the last thing I'll say is, it's probably not the worst Star Wars movie, but rewatchability, and maybe Cycling and I just have a particularly soft spot. I would much rather go back and rewatch Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Sith before this one.
Both of those are fun movies.
Entertainment
This
value.
is not a fun movie.
Yeah.
And maybe in 5 years after we see what Episode 9 is, and if they continue on the story and the disappointment wears off, it's still a pretty big fresh wound for me, the disappointment of this movie.
And I think that's why I put Phantom Menace in kind of a different category, because I will admit, I'm not going to defend Phantom Menace. It is not a good movie.
You can't
but it's an
defend it.
entertaining movie.
It's not, but it is
And there
very
are scenes in that movie that are just straight up great. And the thing about this movie and Attack of the Clones, and this is why I put them on par, it's very easy in both of these movies to get bored. There's not a lot of scenes that stand out in either film.
It's not fun.
It's not fun. And if you tell me Attack of the Clones, the best part is like Yoda going to town on Count Dooku, okay, well that's all just that's a different conversation I'm not going to get into. But that's the general. That's the longest movie. That's the longest Star Wars movie, Attack of the Clones.
I'm actually gonna change my answer here. Phantom Menace is better than this movie for our generation.
Yeah.
Because we were the same age as Anakin in that movie when it came out. So it was very relatable to me, even though I didn't understand storytelling. He was a kid that was said, let's go be a Jedi, let's take you away from your mom, but I love my mom, and you have that struggle.
Yeah.
It was more relatable, and even now as an adult, I still find myself relating to Anakin in that scenario more than I find myself relating to any other character in this movie.
How do you guys feel about the idea that the generation that grew up with the original Star Wars hated the prequels because they were probably our age when they saw the prequels, and we were the originals, and they saw the prequels around our age. Now we saw the prequels where these people saw the originals around in their 20s, and now we're seeing the sequels, and we're not enjoying it as much.
So
Do you think?
confusing.
I know it's confusing.
I'm drunk,
you know what
so
I'm saying?
It's confusing.
Like the people who saw this originally in their youth. We have a special place for the prequels. We can admit they're not as good movies, but we love them.
That's a good point. It's a generational thing.
It's a generational thing, whereas people who saw the originals loved them, saw the prequels, and like, hey, you're shitting on what we loved.
I don't like the generational argument because we have to deal with creating Jar Jar Binks, and it's weighs on my conscience.
Yeah, that's on us.
The greatest Sith Lord of
messed
all
up.
time, you mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Totally.
Let's go do some death sticks, guys.
God.
On that note, we've been the Bro Force Squad podcast. Guys, check us out on Twitter at Bro Force Squad. Go to our website, www.broforcesquad.com. Got the squad blog, the Bro Force Squad Hall of Fame. Check it out. Give us a like on Facebook. Go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube and on iTunes. Give us a 5-star review. We will read your review on the pod. Check out everything we're doing. We really appreciate the support. If you like our commentaries, we've got a bajillion of them out there. Till next time, I'm Brian Banner for the mayor himself, Jeff Hornacek, and our legal counsel, Ronnie Cycli. May the force be with you.
I'm gonna go sleep and stick my tongue out like Snoke when he got chopped in half.